Alien was placed on an immigration hold after a traffic stop resulted in the discovery of drugs. 20-year-old Jefferson Javier Lopez Tinoco was stopped by Baldwin County Sheriff's deputies as part of an investigation into a stabbing that took place on July 19th at a soccer game. Lopez Tinoco was identified as the main suspect in that case. 9 dogs have now been euthanized in Chilton County after 7-year-old Jerry Muniz died from a dog attack. The dogs tested negative for rabies. The owners of the dogs are cooperating with authorities. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage. For years, I've been asking you to call me at Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. Did you know the current national average turn time to close on a mortgage is 48 business days? But not at Alabama Home Mortgage. At Alabama Home Mortgage, our average close time is 16 business days. That's a month faster than the rest. How do we do it? With over 60 years of combined experience in the industry. Our team knows mortgages. Our years of experience yield a better experience for our customers. Folks, time is money. Whether you're looking to buy or refi, don't waste time with another mortgage company, bank, or credit union. We close on time, every time. Give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time. Our fast turn time is just one difference that sets us apart from the rest. It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-36-8, Equal Housing Lender.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems like snoring, aches and pains, hot sleep, or even an old saggy mattress that can keep you up at night. And our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now get a king bed for a queen price, plus a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money because you're in charge. Today, you're going to pay down your credit card bill. But you decide when you'll pay it. Before the due date, so those interest charges don't get you. But you decide if you pay it in full. But you definitely should, because again, interest charges. With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Since 1966, Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches has been more than just a place to stay. It's been a place to belong. For children facing hardships through no fault of their own, our ranches provide more than shelter. We offer a warm home, a loving family, and a future filled with hope. With open arms, we welcome these young hearts, giving them the love, structure, and guidance they need to heal, grow, and thrive in a warm Christian environment. Together, we can give Alabama's children the chance they deserve, a chance to dream, to succeed, and to feel truly cherished. Every donation stays within Alabama, directly impacting the lives of the children who need it most. Join us in making a difference. Visit alabamasheriffsyouthranches.org. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and download our app from your app store. We'd be honored to have you as a part of our mission to lift up Alabama's youth. And remember this, it's easier to build boys and girls than to repair men and women.
There's nothing that will heat up the summer more than a hot deal from Pizza Perfect. The perfect family fill-up in July is a free order of boneless wings with the purchase of any large pizza. Pizza Perfect is known for their all-you-can-eat buffet that includes pizza as well as spaghetti, breadsticks, salad, dessert, and drink for only $13. The buffet is available Monday through Saturday for lunch and for dinner on Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. Get a free order of boneless wings with the purchase of any large pizza from Pizza Perfect in Eastbrook.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Stemming politicians uphill and down dale for many years, as rogues, vagabonds, frauds, and scoundrels. I sometimes suspected, like everyone else, I often expect too much of them.
It's all a fugazi. You know what fugazi is?
Fugazi, it's a fake.
Yeah, fugazi. It's a wazi, it's a woozy, it's a fairy dust. It doesn't exist. It's never landed. It is no matter. It's not on the elemental chart. It's not real.
Right?
You guys conduct yourself in a democracy.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into the program here. Another hot and humid day out of Montgomery, Alabama, but we're halfway through the working week. And great headline news, at least if you're a fan of what the Trump administration's been up to. Somewhat of vindication, an early sign, especially with the entire tariff strategy freaking everybody out. But coming in hot, GDP growth clocks in at 3% in the second quarter. You heard that right. The U.S. economy grew at a much stronger than expected pace in the second quarter, powered by a turnaround in the trade balance and renewed consumer strength. This is according to the Commerce Department. Gross domestic product, a sum of goods and services activity across the sprawling U.S. economy, jumped 3% for the April through June period, according to figures adjusted for seasonality and inflation. That topped the Dow Jones estimate of 2.3% and helped reverse a decline of 0.5%. Well, essentially 0.5% for the first quarter. That came largely due to a huge drop in imports, which subtract from the total, as well as weak consumer spending amid tariff concerns. Financial markets reacted little so far, but I'll be definitely bringing this up with Austin Baranko with Invista Advisors probably in about 40 minutes or so. Should be talking to him in reaction to these new GDP numbers. The word of the summer for the economy is resilient, said Heather Long, chief economist at Navy Federal Credit Union. The consumer is hanging in there, but still on edge until the trade deals are done. The period reported Wednesday includes President Trump's April 2nd Liberation Day tariff announcement. Imports had jumped in the first quarter as companies sought to get ahead of that announcement. And over the past 3 months, Trump has been engaged in multiple rounds of saber rattling and often intense negotiations with U.S. trading partners that have jangled nerves, but nonetheless coincided with a subdued but solid pace of economic growth. The talks have largely resulted in tariffs well above what they were the beginning of the year, but not as severe as initially proposed. I think that's exactly right. You heard Scott Bessent after the Liberation Day announcement saying this should be the high watermark. If everybody cooperates, if people negotiate in good faith for whatever tariff rate we put on whatever country, this should be the high watermark. And you're now seeing that with countries who are playing ball. Kevin Hassett, the National Economic Council director, said the anti-Trump story has been that we're going to have a recession or depression because of the tariffs, which are going to jack up prices and cause consumers to run for the exits. In fact, every single thing about this GDP release has shown strength. Yeah, there's very little in this new report that shows a weakness. And I keep saying, as much as I've somewhat soured over the Epstein thing, it's like, why all of a sudden do you not want to talk about it? But it looks like new threads are being developed. Great story I'll read a little later, Substack, on the inside life of Ghislaine Maxwell. But the Epstein thing, the falling out with Elon Musk, and a lot of people said it's no surprise that all this occurred. But at the end of the day, no matter what you think of Trump, can he get peace with Russia and Ukraine? Can he stop the slaughter and just this mayhem in Gaza between Israel and Hamas? I think it all comes down to it's the economy, stupid. The economy needs to be humming like crazy, not for Wall Street, but for Main Street on America's 250th birthday. Then you can run that campaign going into the midterms, and I think you got a heck of a message to sell. So that's the top number coming out today. In the studio with me, you heard him earlier if you're listening, Brian Dawson. How you doing today?
Amazing. Flipping amazing, Joey.
Yeah, good seeing you, man.
Yeah, no, I'm glad to be here. And Scott needed me to finish the last 30 minutes of his show. And so I told him yesterday, I said, you know what, man, for you, I'll be there.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what, I'll come in at 11. And then my wife was doing some stuff around the house, and it seemed to be easier without me there. And I said, Scott, how about 9? How's 9? And so I've been here all day.
I didn't know you were here all day. Oh, wow.
I got here like 9:30. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's been great. And man, I've got the radio bug again. And so you'll be seeing more of me, hearing more of me.
Yeah, you're welcome anytime. Man.
Yeah. And so I was going to leave at noon, and this might surprise you. I was going to go to Sanctuary Cigars and smoke a cigar. But I saw you with your amazing locks that you have going now, and you walked in, and the sun hit you just right. And I said, I think I'm going to stay for some of Joey's show too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So, what do you make of this? Because I have softened a little bit on Trump in the sense of like, come on, man, the self-inflicted wound over Epstein. I've been in less of the gratitude headspace as you are, and more in kind of this critical, like, it's just the doldrums of summer. But it seems like it will come back to the economy.
Yeah, if you focus on national things that I think a lot of the media is highly manipulated intentionally, even for the good, like the good guys. So it's just like, it's easy to black pill. There's a lot.
Yes.
There's a lot there, and so I'm focusing a little, like my white pilling, if you will, my optimism, my gratitude is coming a lot because of what's happening here, not up there, and. I do think the most beautiful thing to me that's going on in the national space is not necessarily what Trump is doing, though I think he's doing some great stuff. It's the Overton window shifting, and it's hardcore shifting. And it's hardcore shifting because of the decentralization of mass media, right? The democratization of media, whatever you want to call it. It's what you do. It's what I do.
Yeah.
It's what Elon Musk did for us. It's what Tucker Carlson does. It's what Theo Vaughn does. It's what Dave Smith does. It's what Tim Dillon does. Like, people are going to Tim Dillon to get their news right now. Why? Because it's funny because it's true,
and he's hilarious in his presentation.
The saying, it's funny because it's true.
Yeah.
Well, where do you want to go to get truth? Maybe somewhere where it's actually funny. And so there's this entertainment, and so. People are not going to the same places. They're not going to the same wells to get their information, which means they're getting good information. When you get good information, there's going to be political pressure applied properly. That sounded like some alliteration, but political pressure applied properly is going to get results. And the fact that Theo Vaughn and Tim Dillon and Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens and these people can put pressure on the White House and the Senate and the Congress. Amazing. When Donald Trump calls Candace Owens, is like, I had dinner with Brigitte, seems like a woman.
Yeah.
And he has to have a conversation with Candace so that he can end the war in Ukraine, because Candace said that the Brigitte Macron has a penis. And so Donald Trump, the president of the flipping United States, has to call Candace Owens and have a conversation about Brigitte Macron's penis for world peace. Means that we're winning, Joey. We are winning.
Yeah, no, and the democratization, the revolution of an alternative media source that just seems to bring about a different sort of message, and also seems to embrace conflict in a way that's very healthy.
Yes.
Like, there's so much, and the good sort of diversity, like people genuinely disagree, but we're kind of on the same team and swimming in the same direction.
Yeah, not you will be made to care, like that meme with the black guy, like, we're gay now. You've seen that? Like, no, not that kind of diversity. Like the Ted Cruz having a conversation with Tucker Carlson type of diversity.
Exactly. Oh,
like,
that
was so good. But what's crazy is the boomers love them some Fox News. And I learned this the hard way. I won't even go into the story, but it's like they IV drip Fox News, right? And then and so they like things the way that they are, like the 7-minute talking point, polished.
Right.
And that's where this idea of Donald Trump isn't presidential. Well, why are we saying he's not presidential? Because we've always done things this way and everything's polished. It's like all that's coming off, okay? And it's now getting into, it's not even sensationalized. It's a real conversation from one man to another about things that really matter, the future of this nation. If you actually care about the future of this nation, you're going to get a little bit pissed sometimes when you have conversations.
Oh, and I've been wondering, okay, after the Epstein thing, Trump's dropped about 17 points with independents. And I think that is a lot of folks you just named.
Yeah.
Like their audiences, they really do have their finger on the pulse of America, and they're not necessarily always explicitly political people. They just kind of get the culture, and these are sort of the figureheads, and they come from all different walks of life. With that drop of independence by 17%, I wonder how does Trump win those sort of folks back? Or does it really matter in the sense that do those independents run to the Democrats? So I look at them right now, and they are still, for better or for worse, creatures of the old system.
Did you see I don't sit around and watch the Young Turks, Joey.
No.
It's not something I spend a lot of my time doing, but Anna Kasparian, or whatever her name was.
I'll watch her, not Cenk.
Yeah. She's a little slightly more attractive than Cenk.
Just a little.
She went on Tucker, and she told Tucker, she called him out and said, I think you're going to run for president. You didn't see this?
No, I didn't see that one.
Oh my gosh. It's the only reason I saw it is because the clip of them on the Young Turks was sent to me because can you believe this? And she said, that speech you gave at Turning Point was not a speech. That was a presidential speech. I think you're going to run for president. And Tucker was like, it's the last thing I would ever do. Right. And then he's like, unless I was told by a higher power, meaning I'm leaving the door open. Because Joey, have you ever interviewed someone who ran for office that came in your studio and said, I'm running for office, and they didn't say the Lord told me?
Oh, no, yeah.
I've never met one.
Barry Moore's still praying about
it.
Running for Senate.
Yes, praying about it until August 15th, and apparently the fleece and the okay. Anyway, love Barry. But yeah, it's just a bizarre thing. But in my point in bringing that up is, I'm on that same clip with the Young Turks. Cenk and Anna were sitting there talking very favorably about Tucker Carlson. And a lot of these populist talking points, populists used to be Democrats. So this huge populist shift you're seeing, it's not a move to the left. We think it's a move, it's actually a move to the right. And so our left and our right is messed up. Our Republican and our Democrat is messed up. We don't understand what means what. We've been so shallowly pre-programmed into thinking R good, D bad. And yeah, though the Democrats have been their party has been completely hijacked by communist, Marxist, godless, wicked, disgusting people. No doubt about it. But you still have people who are populist at heart. And I had my epiphany, and I can't wait to interview Tucker Carlson. I get to do that in November. I'm pretty excited about it when he comes to town.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that too.
Very excited. And I'm going to ask him, do you remember the Ben Shapiro interview he did? The Ben Shapiro interviewed Tucker Carlson. This was my moment where everything started to flip for me. I've been on your show a gajillion times talking about Pat Buchanan and being a paleo-conservative and a populist and a nationalist and a Christo-fascist. I mean, a populist nationalist. But the point was made. Ben Shapiro started just like rubbing his nipples and talking about how great it was going to be if Elon Musk could figure out how to create a semi-truck, like a commercial trucking thing with no drivers, an automated thing.
I remember this.
Okay. How good that would be. And as he's rubbing his nipples for the GDP and Wall Street, as he's doing that. And Tucker did this crazy thing. And again, it was one of those earth-shattering moments for everyone to rethink everything, because we've been so pre-programmed into neoconservative, libertarian, no offense, talking points. And it's not, I'm not talking about Mises Institute talking points. I'm talking about Beltway libertarianism, Koch Institute, Cato Institute, all these think tank talking points. Everything is about Wall Street. Everything is about the GDP. It doesn't matter if your people are dying. It doesn't matter if they're strung out on heroin. It doesn't matter if they're killing themselves. As long as the GDP goes up, baby, we're good.
Right.
So Tucker responds to Ben Shapiro, and he says, that would be the worst thing ever if we had automated commercial trucks. And Ben Shapiro was just flabbergasted. And he said, why? He said, because the number one job for not college educated men, men who did not go to college, is truck driver. What are they going to do if you do that? We're going to put them on pills and move them to the Appalachians as well?
Right.
Because we've already done that to every factory worker in the country, every mill worker in the country. We've already shipped their freaking jobs over to India and the Punjab. And over to China and over to third world countries. We already shipped their jobs, but now Ben, you want to ship the freaking truckers' job. Like you want to get rid of every source of dignity that the average human being has. And then if there are any more job openings, we have to get H-1B visas for these very high tech skills like 7-Eleven owner, and hotel owner. you got to have that top elite tier talent coming from
the Patel
over there.
Motels.
The Patel Motels.
Mm-hmm.
I soured on Vivek hardcore around Christmas when he came after working white class people. I could go on, and maybe we will, at some other point. But that is, to me, one of the things I'm most passionate about is this populist uprising. When we realize what's been done to us by people who worship the market. The market is the market is good. It's not God.
Yeah,
the market is a great KPI, a key performance indicator. But like you said, it's Main Street, not Wall Street.
Yes.
Okay. It's a good the market is a good indicator, but it's not the only one. And for too long, we've looked at Wall Street and GDP as the only indicator. And as long as that line goes up, doesn't matter if people are dying, doesn't matter if they're killing themselves, it doesn't matter if kids can't buy homes, young people can't buy homes. That doesn't matter. As long as the GDP goes up, we're good, baby.
Well, and so much of that GDP number is not a reflection of actual goods and services. It's a reflection of money creation by the banks and by this current financial system that operates. There is a bit of a tension I'm seeing within, say, MAGA and the coalition Trump built, because the AI thing is coming out strong. But before we get off to that, because we'll have to hit a break here in a second, I think there are going to be smart young Democrats who understand this populist moment, and they're going to fill that lane. I don't see anybody right now. It's not Jasmine Crockett. It's not AOC. It's not Buttigieg. It will be probably somebody we don't even know about that will be like, oh yeah, I can be just a normal person on all these podcasts. And then I can have some common sense policies that look out for everyday people. And I think you hit it perfectly. The tension within right now, the Trump movement, it'll probably exist, is how much the AI and Silicon Valley folks are running this White House. You just saw the All In podcast. Trump spoke at it.
Yeah.
The whole Doge thing is very much a creature of that sort of mindset. And when I look at things like, there's a story that came out, Cheyenne in Wyoming to house an AI data center using more electricity than all Wyoming homes combined. And so it can't be at the expense of everybody else. If you want to make more, and this is where I like free markets, it's create. The way you build a better society is you create more prosperity that goes to everyone, essentially.
Sure.
Let's create. What we've gotten into is, how can we rig the data that reflects it's the symbol of growth while screwing over all sorts of folks. I think you and so many others are 100% right on the H-1B thing. I heard you the other day talking about your own father and how this experience, and I've had calls from folks like that too. I think that's got to end immediately. Yet you're also seeing the gold card idea, where you have $5 million, you can get in. So you might have a combination, I think, of, okay, how can we continue to innovate, create, but how do we make sure that actually goes into helping places and helping people and not pulling literally power away from the everyday person?
100%.
And I just kind of wonder, I look at the midterms, I like the momentum. I don't want the Democrats to take the House. I don't think they take the Senate. And I just worry a little bit about how softened the GOP has become, because they're doing that traditional Fox News thing. I'm working on my father. For years, I told him stop falling asleep to Papa Bear O'Reilly, but he still is falling asleep. Fall asleep to Will Cain. Fall asleep to Gutfeld. Then you're fine, Dad. But yeah, I think because the GOP is still stuck there, and the GOP hasn't left Trump. It's, again, that Gallup says 17% of independents. Where do they go? Because the populist movement is not traditional right-left, as you said. The populist movement is this remaking of America, getting back to our roots in many ways. And if you don't have a true leader that's willing to, people will only go so far. If Trump betrays us, or let's say it's post-Trump, if JD Vance betrays us, if anybody else, Marco Rubio, anybody else who might run in the conversation, people will go a different way. Remember, so many of the Trump voters were Bernie voters.
Yeah.
So I think people who are young, especially our age and our cohort, but also people in their 50s and 40s, they need to be aware that this isn't just a right-wing thing.
Yeah.
Like, this is something where beyond just the normal partisan back and forth. And I think that's actually a healthy lesson to learn. So long in this country, it's been, we suck. I know we suck, but they suck worse. So vote for us.
Yeah.
And I think that's just the wrong approach. We got to get past that. It's like, no, you have to get back to real American jobs for real Americans, along with the creative capacities of so many super smart people in this nation. It'll be interesting to watch it all play out. But this turn is not just politics. I think there's a turn culturally.
Yes.
That sort of, and it's a combination of people literally going back to church, young men in particular going back to the Catholic Church. But also it's an odd combination where you have that, especially lonely guys looking for something real and lasting that's been a long time. And then you also have this rude mood coming back. Whether it's something as simple as like Americana as the Sydney Sweeney Great Jeans ad or whatever. And I looked at it, I'm like, nah, not a big deal, but that's different. That looks like something Don Draper would have made in Mad Men. You're seeing the Shane Gillis hosting of the ESPYs. You're seeing South Park even being South Park as much as they are. And Colbert getting canceled and The View put on hiatus. And it does seem like as much as we want to get back to, say, the foundations, the true foundations you were talking about in the last hour, and in more of a centered, say, household approach to building up a great society, there's also I will settle for the time being, for the short term, of let Americans just be Americans. We like rock and roll. We like our food. We like our music. We like, if it's an ad about fashion, we want it to be a hot woman.
We discussed this earlier.
Right. Like we just need, like all this needs to be, let America be America. And then after their prodigal streak, they can, come back home. Right now, it went to this weird scolding place of the left that is like godless and also no fun. That's the worst combination.
Marmy.
That's the worst combination. Yeah. You with your liberal arts degree energy coming in and wagging your finger at me.
Yeah.
That I like the commercial because the jeans look good on the pop star's butt. Get over yourself. Come on.
They're good jeans. She has good jeans.
She does have good.
She has very fine jeans.
And it's coming up. Ozempic face is driving a cosmetic surgery boom. I don't think that's a good thing. WNBA game is halted when a player's wig falls off. And there's more. The WNBA game was interrupted by something else that is just incredible. We can get into what is going to be the 2027 agenda. Trump and team working on that. I keep teasing this, haven't gotten to it yet this week. Project 2025 architect Paul Dans to challenge Lindsey Graham in Senate primary. I want that guy. I just only watched one video or two. I want that guy to win so much.
I've never seen any video, and I want him to win so hard.
Yeah, I'll play the clip in a little bit. Man, it's just absolutely incredible to see somebody that might be able to take down Lindsey. And of course, Trump just slapped a tariff on India for reasons to do with Russia and all sorts of other stuff we can get into. And of course, wherever the conversation leads, I would give out the number, but our phones don't work because somebody cut the line. Oh, well. Hey, this part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. And they're at Montgomery Men's Health. They can help you because a lot of guys sit there and go, I don't need to go to the doctor. And even though I feel like crap, like I'm losing muscle mass, I'm getting a big tire around the middle, I'm never in the mood, I'm falling asleep right after lunch. You just sit there as a guy and you go, yeah, I'm tired, I'm sluggish, I don't feel like myself, but that's just part of getting older. Or I'm just a little stressed and I'm a man, I'll power through it. No. Doesn't have to be this way. Lower energy and performance issues aren't inevitable. Solutions exist. And in Montgomery Men's Health, there's no guesswork, no gimmicks, no generic fixes like the expensive generic online pills. Instead, with the urologists and providers there, they're going to give you tailored, customized solutions specifically to your body and goals. So just sit down with them. The consultation, including blood work, is very affordable, only $99, with results before you leave. So get by there now. You only got one life. Procrastination is going to make this worse, gentlemen. Discretion is the word there. I know you don't like going to the doctor, and it might be a sensitive issue, but they got you there at Montgomery Men's Health. Call them today at 440-3663. That's 440-3663, or visit MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com to book your appointment today.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson with the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. So far this year, over 2,600 homes have sold and closed in the River region. 55% of these homes sold in 60 days or less, and sellers are receiving close to 98% of listed price. Over the last year, average prices in the River region have increased over 10% from last year. We do have more inventory now to show buyers before they purchase. There are homes in all price ranges available for buyers interested in moving. As a seller, it's a great time to sell through a realtor and gain access to many buyers, not just one or two. If you are a buyer, having more homes to pick from gives you better choices before you buy. Our market is now more balanced between a buyer and seller market than we've seen since 2019. Get the facts, see the inventory, get a great local lender to help you, and an agent that's going to look after your interests. For all the facts, call Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group, 221-2883 or 551-0225.
Hi, this is Don Duncan with Don Duncan's All-American Automotive and Tire. Just want to say a big thank you to Blue Water Broadcasting. They've been a big partner in our success. And again, thank you guys so much for all you've done for us. If you need anything, come see us. Again, this is Don Duncan with All-American Auto and Tire.
Did you know that radio is the #1 reach platform in all of media? It's true. Call us to find out how to put radio's #1 reach to work for your business. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
Rich Thomas weather, a service of Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, where over-the-road dump truck drivers are needed right now. Home twice a week and every weekend. Must leave early on Sunday with Blue Cross Blue Shield. Call them now at 855-777-9785.
Rich Thomas weather.
Hi, everybody. More hot and humid days, maybe not quite as intense as the last couple of days. We'll be in the low to mid-90s today. Still triple digits on the heat index with a sun and cloud mix and scattered random afternoon and evening storms, perhaps a little bit more numerous, especially tomorrow and Friday. Lows at night in the muggy mid-70s. There will be a frontal system entering the state this weekend that could bring a little bit of relief, perhaps, but maybe not much as it stalls in South Alabama. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Whether you're buying a home or auto or consolidating debt, CB&S Bank's personal loans get you where you need to go. Go to cbsbank.com to find a location near you or apply online today. All loans subject to credit approval, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
When news happens, you'll hear about it first. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark, and Brian Dawson in the studio. It's been too long since we've sat down like this on the airwaves.
Indeed.
And one thing I want to go to just to kind of cleanse the palate here, because we came in like intense there, is like the WNBA.
That'll cleanse your palate.
Yeah, well, because number one, it continues. He keeps trying to do it. My old roommate, my grandfather, he keeps tricking me into watching the WNBA.
Yeah.
Like we settle down, we start watching. I'll watch American Ninja Warrior with him. That's fun. Yeah, athletic folks, great backstories. I mean, some are better than others. One girl has lupus. The other guy is, he delivers things on an electric skateboard around New York City. So I'll watch that. You know, we'll check out the latest thing on Netflix, watch Happy Gilmore 2 together. But we'll be watching something along those lines, like, you know, Tucker Carlson is well interviewing somebody. And all of a sudden, as I'm sinking into the couch, my grandfather goes, Joe, turn it over to the Fever game. I want to see what Caitlin Clark's doing. And of course, I'm not going to be like, no, like I have to turn it on. And there I am watching the WNBA. And I realized the only way I would ever watch this of my own choice, my own volition, would be if they have guaranteed dyke fight nights, kind of like just bring it on like that. I want
hockey with lesbians that
just
shoot
slugging
balls.
it out. It's like turn it into like kind of like roller derby a little bit. The roller derby is much classier than the WNBA at this moment.
Yeah.
And this point. But people are now paying attention. Like, I love that Shane Gillis joke where he called out his buddy's wife as like an all-star, and they're like, yeah, that's my buddy's wife. Y'all didn't know WNBA players. So there's this focus of trolling the WNBA. A video, it's not a huge deal. I won't play that video. They stopped the game. Like, how would you stop a game? Like, if you had to, by the way, Eddie Bader's here in his beautiful glasses.
Oh, they haven't gone white yet.
Yeah, they're lens changing.
The old man glasses are showing up.
Yeah. So why would you stop a game? Well, injury, right? COVID maybe. But
we had to stop the game
somebody is serious, like there's a bone sticking out, like you broke your leg, or like it really was a big fist fight or something like that. Like, hey, ladies, stop it.
Sometimes in hockey, they'll have to stop the game for a minute when people throw squid and things like that on the ice.
Sure, there's that.
Yeah.
But and maybe it's a TV timeout. There's plenty of reasons to stop the game.
Sure.
They stopped the game because the hair fell off somebody's head. Her weave fell off.
Yeah, it's like in the Walmart parking lot when you're like, "Oh my God, it's a black mamba." Oh wait, no, it's just a weave.
Yeah, the weave fell off, and so instead of just like somebody kicking it off the court real quick because it fell off right near the out of bounds line near the bench, so just continue on the game, and you can go on with your, I hope you don't have alopecia or anything. I don't want you to be embarrassed. They immediately stopped the game. And the girl picks up her wig and runs to the back trying to fix it back on. One fan thought it was so funny. They're like laughing and mocking. They eject the fan.
Like a weave that fell?
Yeah,
he was ejected like a bad weave.
Yeah, they eject the fan for laughing at something that's objectively funny.
It's hysterical.
This is what I love. As much as there's issues with Montgomery, we do need more of a police presence downtown and all this stuff. And they tried that curfew thing that's like we got the officers to enforce it. Why don't you just have cops down there anyway?
We just need to get rid of the Glock switches, Joey.
That'll really fix it.
There you go.
Everybody says that, right? Yeah. Well, we'll see. But it's like I kind of enjoy the sizzle of. I see like there's a brouhaha down in downtown Montgomery. Somebody post the video on Montgomery Uncut on Facebook.
Sure.
And it's like I'm cheering for that's pink hair. That ain't real. Get it off. Get it off. And somebody will eventually rip the hair off somebody's head. I'm like, Montgomery. That's better than the Riverfront brawl. That said, you would think that's an absurd reason to stop a game. There's another thing that happened at a WNBA game.
Yeah, the Incredible Hulk showed up.
Don't give it away just yet. Because I want to see the video first.
Oh, you hadn't seen it?
No, I've seen it. But I want us to review the tape and see if we can catch what this is.
Play by play. I hope you don't catch it.
Yeah, no, I hope you don't either.
I don't want to catch it.
That guy's got good hands.
I mean, but sometimes it's coming at you. Well, so here we go. This was I don't even know the teams. Who cares? Let's tune into the footage.
Hayes gets blocked by Maya.
There it goes. Something. Okay, something very green and bouncy. So I think it's made of rubber.
Yeah, you think so?
Very green and bouncy. Let's back up, see it in real time again. He said, "Oh, come on. I hate it when technology doesn't work for me."
Let's hope you don't do 2 hours of a show that no one listened to because the internet's down.
Thank you. Yesterday.
Hayes gets blocked by Maya.
There it is.
Slow
bouncing.
It down.
Okay.
We got to slow it down. Zoom it in.
Officials will say they will continue play.
So they'll continue play, but here in a second, the announcing job on this is just remarkable.
Goes off the fingertips of the Valkyries. You can see the object, the block right there. And the object comes, that green thing bounces.
People are like, that green thing. What is that green
bouncing
thing? Wait for the close up.
We're not sure where it came from. No room.
Wait for it.
Any of that type of activity. Yeah. And no one's picked the object up yet. You guys
nobody wants to pick that up.
Why not? Rubber gloves.
Oh, wow. Hold on. I got to listen to the announcer.
No one's picked the object up yet. You guys go. Oh, my gosh. Okay.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
Inappropriate. What it was, because it's rubbery, it bounced. Like it got a good 2-3 hops.
Yeah, no, it's like when you go to skip a rock across the lake. It was like that on a basketball floor, but like more hops than you get on a good skip rock.
Yeah. So they stopped the game for somebody getting the weave ripped off their head, but they would not stop the game for a giant green dildo being thrown on the basketball court.
It's inappropriate, Joey.
Very inappropriate.
That's inappropriate. That's very inappropriate.
I don't know what the response is because it's a bunch of lesbians and it represents male genitalia. So I don't know if they're like eek or if if it's the ones that use that. I don't know. I don't know what their response to that is.
So many questions.
So many questions.
So many questions.
It's just, and how long has this league existed and lost money every year? And it's just like, please put it out of its misery.
Yeah, it's totally circling.
I'm not encouraging it, but I wouldn't be surprised if more people start throwing dildos.
Well, I think Ice Cube and there's a couple other people that want to see a 3-on-3 series. And
They're
willing to pay for it.
Well, and there are some people, and this is why my grandfather watches. He's like, it's a purer game. Like it reminds him, and I'll give him this. It is more like old school basketball.
It sure is because
there's set
no talent. A bunch of white guys.
Exactly.
Yeah, but it's
talentless basketball players.
There's like set plays. There's like it's very clear. Like there's a lot more shooting. It's not the
because they're girls and they suck.
Yeah,
they can't play basketball,
right? And I get that, but come on, like who's college girls basketball? Maybe
if they weren't like gargantuan lesbians, like people would watch like they do volleyball because it's pretty aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah,
sure,
beautiful women.
Mm-hmm.
You have guys that are going to watch that because they're pervs. Nobody's watching this for that.
No, actually, you watch it. The only reason now is for the fights, but even then, they've kind of toned back a little bit.
Yeah,
which is unfortunate. That was hooking me.
Right. That's what I mean. I
wanted to see Caitlin Clark drain the three and then punch her in the face.
Yeah.
Like that's what I want to see.
But what about the whole pay me more when they were wearing the jersey?
God. Well, and somebody photoshopped a shirt. It said "Pay me more," and it had the giant green dildo.
Was it the WNBA ads that said "Let her cook"? Have you seen this?
Yes.
That was the greatest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Like the epic marketing fail of "Let her cook." Like, correct. Go back home and cook.
And so, is any of this wholesome, folks? No. But it's a great sign that like a thing that's existed for a while and they've been trying to make happen. And they thought, oh, here's this big, tall white girl that can shoot the J from 40 feet away. And we're going to make her into the new Tiger Woods, but the Tiger Woods of the WNBA. And I saw it coming. I'm like, she hasn't won anything yet.
Mm-hmm.
Please let the girl just be good. But they made this happen. They've been doing this big push. And it's beautiful to see this new alternative media culture, whatever is going on. This is a joke, and very effectively deconstruct the crap out of this and be like, no, go away with this nonsense.
Let them play a junior high school team. They'll lose.
It's like the soccer thing.
I was going to say,
the Olympic
like the
team
soccer.
played the 14-year-old boys and lost by like 14 goals.
Yeah. Right.
No, and I love like female athletes that go, yeah. Like, I think there's a classic clip of Serena Williams saying, yeah, I would be destroyed by the
And
male
she
player.
was...
Oh, she's amazing.
She was a man, essentially. And she even knows that she couldn't be a man.
Yeah. No, and so there's a difference between men and women.
Yes.
You don't say.
Really? Like, okay. Anyway, I feel like my palate's cleansed. Man, that thing bounced.
What is it? What were we talking about that cleansed your palate? What was the thing?
Yeah, what was it?
The WNBA failing.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the thing that slid across the court.
I was impressed. I was impressed with the bounce.
High bouncer cleaned the palate.
That looks like that has more bounce than a ball.
It kind of, it did.
Anyway, very quick break. Hopefully we'll have Austin Barenko on the other side of this. First, this part of the program brought to you by River Region Contracting. And there at River Region Contracting, Todd Clark and that fantastic team ready to help you with your roof. Could be you don't really have an issue, you're probably fine, but you should be getting inspections done on a regular basis. Why not do it every year? Because they're at River Region Contracting. Those inspections are always free, always absolutely free. And of course, if they do find an issue, they'll write up an estimate on how to fix it for free. And they're insurance specialists, so they can walk you through that insurance claims process should you be worried. And if you're already getting those regular inspections, you probably don't even need to be worried. River Region Contracting, great folks that get the job done well, quickly, on time, and they don't leave a big mess behind, and they'll sit with you until you're satisfied. Here's your problem. Here's exactly how we're going to fix it. Just call them up today at 356-8635. That's 356-8635. And be sure to tell Todd and the team that Joey, Eddie, and Brian, those fellas on the radio, sent you. Be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV. CM truck beds, built to work, built to last. From a simple flatbed to a rugged aluminum truck bed, CM truck beds are built by the best in the industry, and you can see the difference. Rated B&W hitches, plug-and-play modular sealed wiring harnesses, LED lights, 1/8-inch steel tread decks, premium powder coat finishes. CM truck beds has a bed for you. Flatbeds, stump beds, beds with fail bikes. The side boxes and accessories are just as tough and durable. All of the CM truck beds are available for you now at Airport Trailer. Visit Airport Trailer today or call 288-5785. Make your truck and trailer come to life at Airport Trailer. The premier place the River Region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Sorry, I left up the inappropriate thing on the live stream screen there for a second.
I thought it was some advertising.
I don't know. Whoever made that needs to get royalties, because that should be a fixture of the WNBA. I love it. I just love the mockery. Anyway, moving on. Did y'all see that Zuckerberg's now come out with a new statement on superintelligence?
No.
Negative.
So I just want to read through this and I'll stop. We can react in real time. Because he put out a video, but here's the blog he put out at meta.com. Personal superintelligence. And this goes to our first part of the conversation, Brian. Like, is this promise of the technological innovation actually going to liberate us and make life all the more better? But personal superintelligence. Over the last few months, we have begun to see glimpses of our AI systems improving themselves. The improvement is slow for now, but undeniable. Developing superintelligence is now in sight. It seems clear that in the coming years, AI will improve all our existing systems and enable the creation and discovery of new things that aren't imaginable today. But it is an open question what will direct superintelligence towards. In some ways, this will be a new era for humanity, writes Zuckerberg, but in others, it's just a continuation of historical trends. As recently as 200 years ago, 90% of people were farmers growing food to survive. Advances in technology have steadily freed much of humanity to focus less on subsistence and more on the pursuits we choose. At each step, people have used our newfound productivity to achieve more than was previously possible, pushing the frontiers of science and health, as well as spending more time on creativity, culture, relationships, and enjoying life. I'm extremely optimistic that superintelligence will help humanity accelerate our pace of progress. But perhaps even more important is that superintelligence has the potential to begin a new era of personal empowerment where people will have greater agency to improve the world in the direction they choose. As profound as the abundance produced by AI may be one day, an even more meaningful impact on our lives will likely come from everyone having a personal superintelligence that helps you achieve your goals, create what you want to see in the world, experience any adventure, be a better friend to those you care about, and grow to become the person you aspire to be. I want to read this one last line, though it's only halfway through this missive. Meta's vision is to bring personal superintelligence to everyone. We believe in putting this power in people's hands to direct it towards what they value in their own lives. I want to stop there. There are plenty of powerful things in this world. Should we put those in everybody's hand?
No.
Yeah.
Nuclear bombs, I think, should go in everybody's hands.
Yeah, everybody should have a nuke in the backyard.
I push the button.
Except Iran.
Push the button.
Right.
Well, they were being too cute about it. Like, we don't have the bomb, but we want the bomb. We might have the bomb. We could make the bomb, but we're not making the bomb. But death to Israel, and death to America. But this idea, these are the same folks that said, if you put the smartphone in everybody's hand, well, the world's going to get so much better. The internet's going to open us up to all these amazing things.
But it did not.
Yeah, I don't think that's what's happening. I think there's amazing stuff from the internet. We couldn't do what we do without it. We're all relying on it. I think super intelligence will probably be amazing. But if you give a personal super intelligence to every single person, how many weird, depraved creeps are going to use that for some of the most depraved things?
Same with the phone.
I mean, I already get it on my Facebook feed. Like, if so, it's a, you go, like, you do the, what do they call the reels?
Yeah.
I'm like, what do the kids call them these days? So you're on the reels, and there's this advertisement for AI girl.
Mm-hmm.
That don't come up on mine.
Who didn't? Well, I know.
Don't you do that.
Yeah, and it's funny, like the different ones. Like, so I can go on YouTube and not have, like, I do YouTube reels or whatever. Yeah. Nothing inappropriate or whatever. But Facebook, I can't even get far enough into it to like try and program it to something that's not women. For whatever, it's like, okay, well, I'm just gonna avoid that. I don't even do the Instagram ones. But I mean, think about the AI. I mean, who didn't see that coming when they started doing AI videos and AI imagery? Like, could you imagine being a 14-year-old boy with a cell phone right now?
No.
Wouldn't come out of my room for nothing.
Yeah. It's like Quagmire on that Family Guy episode when he comes out with his right arm is freaking huge.
Giggity.
What happened? He said he found the internet.
That's the truth.
Well, and that's like that's just a sad road. Like, I'm imagining, like, that is very sad. You're just alone and your girlfriend is like a AI manifestation. Remember the movie Her with Joaquin Phoenix, where he falls in love with a personal AI assistant that's voiced by just a voice, and it's Scarlett Johansson. And you realize, well, she doesn't just look great. Her voice is very soothing. It's a very well done movie. I think Spike Jonze made it. But at one point, like, he literally falls in love with this AI assistant who is literally helping him improve his life. Like, he gets, I think, a pay raise. Like, he's just being more forward and ambitious in his life because of this encouragement and this love he's found. At one point, he is walking through the subway and, all sorts of people around him with phones. He goes, wait. How many other people are in love with you? Or how many other people are you talking to? She goes, 6,400. How many
That's
of
a
them?
high body count.
How many of them are you really in love with? Like, we're in love. She's like, 431.
400.
And he looks up and he starts looking at all the guys looking down at their phones and talking the same way he is. And he has this like world shattering realization. So I think you're going to see more and more of that. It already exists essentially. Like, how many of the things on like OnlyFans are real?
I mean, the only thing we had to worry about back in our day was whether the Hooters waitress really liked you or not.
Right.
Now,
or like the Victoria's Secret bags here. Yeah. Like little things like National Geographic. It's on the TV. Let's watch. But I think it's beyond just like the porno thing.
Yeah, but do you think it's going to help at all lonely people?
I think it could potentially pull people in even more isolated situation.
There's a book called When Helping Hurts. And the basis of the book is like, when you give money to poor people, it actually doesn't help them. It makes it worse. And so all of these well-meaning, benevolent attempts to help people outside of the natural means, again, like I think you mentioned Ozempic is something we might talk about. There's another one. If you can get skinny by not eating healthy, you're still going to have a heart attack, even if you weigh 130 pounds. Like, you can't pound, seed oils and processed foods, ultra processed foods. You might not be 400 pounds anymore, but your arteries are clogged.
Yep.
Right. And so it's this whole idea of trying to fix things without fixing things.
Yeah. And it gets
justification, or I want it now. I want it right now.
Well, and it gets to a deeper philosophical point. We'll maybe jump into it in the next hour. Are we just hedonists? Like, you can provide every satisfaction imaginable to people. Like, and we'll have super abundance. We could even hook you into a virtual world. We could give you anything, he says in this piece, any adventure you ever want. You could be a knight, a mage with superpowers that is fighting the dragon and saving the girl. It turns out Princess Peach has put you in the friend zone. Good job, Mario. But does that really make you happy if you don't know it's real? Or if you know it's not actually you doing it, it's part of a program. So you provide every sensual pleasure, the food, the music, the dazzling images, the stories and stuff. But at the end of the day, if it's fake, does it actually fulfill you? And I think there's something about it's at Huxley. Aldous Huxley got onto this in Brave New World, where the guy who's the savage who didn't grow up in the Brave New World, what does he read? Verses of the Bible and Shakespeare. And he engages in a self-flagellation, like whipping himself to feel. And everybody, eventually, it ends up where that's even commodified and becomes look at the savage and the spectacle of it. But it's sort of Huxley saying in that novel, like, hold on to the stuff that's real, and even hold on to the suffering. Maybe a part of our suffering these days is people aren't suffering enough or aren't struggling enough. And so is righting every wrong and like pleasure and everything you could ever want actually going to bring people fulfillment?
No.
Or do we maybe need to go another direction, including with, and this is where it gets weird, say we do get super abundance. Say it's not just truckers that are out of jobs. It's like everybody.
Yeah.
Like robots can literally do everything. What do you then do? And there are some folks who say you bring back the lamplighter. Like, what do you do for work? Well, I get paid a stipend to light these gas lamps. Like, bring back the simple jobs, the ferryman, that's like little things that you don't necessarily economically need, but we've built the town around these things that make a lot of sense. And it gives you fulfillment, gives you a wage, you get to know your people. And we've had this argument a few times.
Yeah. So when I don't lamp or light the lights, am I going to get fired? So what if I get fired? To save money. I'm a person.
See, but at the end of the day, like, there's no satisfying you.
I'm a person.
I think you, no, never mind. Never mind. Go throw another dildo on the court. I know it was you. Anyway, we got to hit this top of the hour break. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. After an 8.8 magnitude earthquake hit off Russia's sparsely populated Far East, the worst appears to be over for many areas, including the U.S., Japan, and the affected parts of Russia. However, Chile raised its tsunami warning to the highest level for most of its lengthy Pacific coast. The Senate confirms Emil Bovee to the Third Circuit Court of Appeals, launching President Trump's former personal lawyer to a lifetime appointment on the bench. Sweltering heat this week in the southeastern U.S. The National Weather Service says that the prolonged heat wave was expected to peak in the southeast at midweek. The Fed will make its interest rate decision next hour and is expected to leave the rates alone. On Wall Street, the Dow up 10 points, the NASDAQ adding 85 now. This is SRN News.
Hey everybody, Charlie Kirk here. As executive director of Turning Point USA, a national radio host, podcaster, husband, and father of two, my schedule is about as crazy as it can possibly get. 2 years ago, I made the decision to take control of my health, and I chose PhD Weight Loss and Nutrition because I needed a plan that fit my hectic lifestyle. I travel a lot, and my schedule changes every week, so I need something simple. They customized a plan for my body and my schedule, and I quickly lost 30 pounds. Now I have the energy and focus to get through my busy day. PhD will help you too. They won't let you fail. Just give them a call, schedule your weight loss consultation, and see if their program is right for you. Call 855-696-2020. That's 855-696-2020. The first 11 callers who mention the word healthy will get 2 weeks added to their weight loss package. Call 855-696-2020 and mention the word healthy, or visit them at myphdweightloss.com. That is myphdweightloss.com. It worked for me, and it can work for you. Myphdweightloss.com.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. Alabama Wholesale Lumber, the best quality building materials in the river region for decades. From common builds to special orders and local delivery. Call Alabama Wholesale Lumber.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Hi, everybody. More hot and humid days, maybe not quite as intense as the last couple of days. We'll be in the low to mid 90s today. Still triple digits on the heat index with a sun and cloud mix. and scattered random afternoon and evening storms, perhaps a little bit more numerous, especially tomorrow and Friday. Lows at night in the muggy mid-70s. There will be a frontal system entering the state this weekend that could bring a little bit of relief, perhaps, but maybe not much as it stalls in South Alabama. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. Major changes are coming to Synovus Bank, which has branches in Montgomery and Prattville. Synovus is merging with Pinnacle Bank in a deal valued at $8.6 billion. The deal is expected to be completed early next year when the merged banks will take the Pinnacle name. There's no word yet on any branch closures. Montgomery police have opened a death investigation after a body was found in East Montgomery Tuesday. Officers responded to the 9100 block of East Chase Parkway around 2 p.m. regarding a person down. When police arrived, they found an unresponsive man who was pronounced dead at the scene. The man's identity and cause of death are not yet known. A second suspect has been arrested following a weekend shootout in Montgomery. Police responded to the 6800 block of Atlanta Highway near Taylor Road to an active gunfight involving multiple people on Friday night. 19-year-old Pedro Bennett was arrested Tuesday and charged with attempted murder in the case. More arrests are expected. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Do you have real estate problems? Whether you're facing foreclosure, inherited a property, or have costly repairs, we understand. At Rapid Fire Home Buyers, we're here to help. Any condition, any situation, we'll give you an honest cash offer for your home so you can move forward. Because when real estate problems cause you uncertainty, you deserve a solution you can trust. Any condition, any situation, we're here to help. Give Rapid Fire Home Buyers a call today at 334-675-1000. That's 334-675-1000.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
How you conduct yourself in a democracy?
Joey Clark.
Welcome back.
Is that the extended version?
Extended version?
Was that the extended version?
The green one on the court, was that the extended
version? Welcome back to the program. No, we were just eating some off air.
Yeah.
Some Smokehouse Pit barbecue.
Yes.
Man, that stuff's good.
It is, man. It's really good. Really good.
Sounds good.
But I might have, as I was trying to hop on air, taken some spicy barbecue sauce down the wrong pipe. Oh, they need to add that to the WNBA games. Like make those bras like snort hot sauce, and then go shoot a J.
So you're saying they should stay in the kitchen? There should be a kitchen.
Let her cook, Joey. Let her cook.
Let her cook. But folks, Smokehouse Pit barbecue. What do we get? We got a pulled pork sandwich.
The pulled pork sandwiches. I did get the hot barbecue sauce. I thought we'd both live it up a little bit. Got some fried okra, and then they were sweet enough to give us a little extra something there, Joey.
Yeah. What is it? Do you know what it is?
I believe that is strawberry shortcake, my friend.
Sorry, I had to eat some fried okra.
Yeah. Trying to put the fire out still.
Let's see here. Oh, that's beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, if folks want to see it.
I mean, my diabetes is flaring up looking at it. It looks freaking delicious. Wow.
It's got strawberries on it.
Dude, that's amazing. Already just taking a tiny bite.
Yeah.
With some of the creme. Dude.
Yeah.
I love that place.
Oh, they're good folks over there. And they were filling up for lunch, man, which was great to see.
Yeah, Chris and Celeste really got it going on. They're back to the original recipes Chris was the pitmaster for a while, and they finally decided to buy it themselves, that couple, Chris and Celeste, and they had to ask permission of the original owners, can we use your original recipes? And they gave permission. So they're back to the original barbecue recipes, which are awesome, like the pulled pork here or some ribs, maybe some brisket, some camp stew. I love that dessert. I hadn't not sampled much of that. That's fantastic. And like you eat with your eyes. So something needs to be like, especially dessert, a little pretty too before you it's tasty. But the breakfast there, Chris corrected me the other day. I said it's the cheese grits to die for. Like, and I've been to Auburn, I've been to Nashville, and you go to breakfast spots, and they're like, our cheese grits are our specialty. And then I try them, I'm like, you people suck. You're like the WNBA compared to the NBA.
Right.
This is not.
It's not even comparable.
But Chris said, no, we don't call them cheese grits, Joey. We call them grit cheese.
That's it.
Because it is, you could put a spoon in there, it'll stand
Stand
straight
right
up
up,
like
man.
it's Excalibur.
Yeah.
Like those things are thick and good. They have healthy, very generous portions. Like you get, when you get an order of bacon, 3 thick cut pieces of bacon. Most places
Full
like 2
sizes.
little pieces.
Right.
No. And you can, if you can't decide, get a big sampler platter or custom made burrito, sandwich, biscuit. They got it all going on. Same location they've always been, Main Street in Millbrook. And be sure to stop by and tell Chris and Celeste that you heard about them here on the radio with Joey and Eddie. And can we hit another break so I can eat the rest?
I'm down when you are, baby. I'm down when you are.
We got more to cover here. So, like, what if, like, the super intelligence thing actually is real? Like, there is going to be this massive AI breakthrough. You're telling me off air, we don't have to go into details. A lot of the energy sector, a lot of people are teaming up. This is a massive investment.
Yeah.
So, you know, if a lot of these trade deals that the U.S. government, Trump and team are saying to Japan, to the UK, all these folks, you literally give us money to invest in whatever we want for our national security and defense, that it will also benefit y'all.
Yeah.
And a lot of that's going into AI and energy infrastructure. So it is happening. And the question is, things like Elon Musk has predicted, where you'll have the robots essentially for being able to provide whatever you want. It's not just truck drivers at that point. It's like everybody. And so you got to wonder, well, what do you do with the human at that point? And the standard liberal answer is kind of what Zuckerberg's laying down. We'll give you a universal basic income and you can do whatever you want, man.
I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell my robot to do stupid stuff. I'm going to film it and make content. Can I break the stupid robot?
But I think you also have the opportunity to go back to living in a way that is more centered, more the norm of our civilization, with the advantages of like all the technology and breakthroughs in medicine and all these things. Like, but you could go back to the much more humble household in town square. You don't need these metropolitan areas. I don't know. I'm trying to think it through in the sense of my instinct is just the hedonistic way, like give people money, eat whatever you want, watch whatever you want, is probably not going to end well for everyday people. Like, how do you instill back in responsibility and serving your community in that world of superabundance? Is where I'm kind of stuck. And he's every time I bring this up, you get all cranky.
Let me ask you, if you, before you went to college, say you're in high school, you realized that you didn't have to struggle anymore, learning anything else. Your life was just going to be what it is. Would you have had any kind of drive to make better?
Yeah.
Really?
He said.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. I mean, that's just, it's not you. It's not me. That's just man. It's man in general.
No, there would be a drive to make better. I think, well, some folks would just jump and they already do. Like smoke a bunch of weed, play a bunch of video games.
I think that would be the majority of people. And then we'd have a weed shortage.
Would that really be everybody?
I don't think it'll be everybody, but I think our learning, our ability to learn and want is going to change. We're not going to have that drive. At least that's my experience. Your need is what always has driven me to do anything. If I just had money given to me, I'd sit at the house and, watch the world burn. But we don't have that luxury.
Well, with your big box that gets all the movies.
Exactly. You don't even get me going on that.
It's like fake cable.
Yeah.
Or something
It's
like
even
that.
better.
No, and like, I don't know if you've run across these arguments, Brian, but this idea would be you create jobs that everyday people can do. And though it's not necessarily about the GDP, it's not adding to the productivity. Like on the margins, these folks are not adding to the economic pie. But that's not what's important. What's important is the person and having work to do.
But so what we're missing is that we already had that, and it was more meaningful than a lamplighter.
Mm-hmm.
It was called production for our nation with the people in our nation. Right?
Okay.
Go with me. Hear me out. Right? The guy on the Mad Men, he's like, hear me out. Is that's what we had. And so I got into an argument with a good friend of mine who's a big Wall Street guy. And so he didn't like the tariffs. And he's like, what are we going to have people making socks again in a textile factory? It's like, well, they're doing heroin now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I actually do think that would be better. The stock market's going to go down and they're going to have to make socks. Yeah. No, it's actually better to have people going into a factory working and having dignity, and a father who goes to a factory and he comes home and he sits down with his kids at dinner and they eat and they talk about what they learned in school and he tells them stories about work, and you have a family, then there's work and vocation. That's the way it was, okay, when we had mills and factories and production here that we've now shipped over to the third world. Because of the GDP and Wall Street, again, we have to make that line go up, and it doesn't matter the absolute wasteland that it leaves here in the United States of America. So we're not the conversation we're having about AI is no different than that conversation. It's the same conversation. The reason we have all these middle-class white people smoking weed, looking at porn and playing video games is because there's not a vocation that's available. And then that's where in the argument about Vivek back on Christmas talks about, well, the reason that you have to bring in Indians like me, buddy, okay, is the reason you have to do that is because you guys are fat and lazy and stupid. You guys and all your prosperity have gotten fat and lazy and stupid. So you need hungry Indians to come over here and run 7-Elevens, except he didn't say 7-Elevens. Of course, he went with the we build rocket ships and all the technology and everything. It's like, okay, well, 80% of you guys are over here owning hotels and gas stations, but that's neither here nor there. You need us smart people because you guys are now fat and lazy. Well, how did we get fat and lazy and lose our work ethic? Because we shipped our jobs over to your country.
Yep.
And now the jobs that are left, we're bringing you guys over here to fill anyway. The whole thing is just bizarre to me. But again, and I have to bring back this point. If we need them for our country to be all it can be, how did we build this country without them in the first place?
Yeah.
That's a conversation that needs to be had, because there's a lot of people who've bought this. We need these people from the Punjab to come over here and help us to compete in the tech sector so that we can build cool things. It's like, okay, well, who built the Empire State Building? It wasn't Raj Patel. Okay, how did we build these bridges? And all these other incredible things. We did it without third world people before. Why do we need to go get them now to be better than everyone else? I think we've been duped into this chain migration with a bunch of propaganda that makes us think that we really are fat and stupid and lazy. Anyway,
no, I pretty much agree with you on that. But how do we pull back from that?
I think, and so it is that question of, they talk about bringing production back.
Mm-hmm.
You have to, I think, Eddie, you said it best. People aren't going to do anything unless they have to. What is it? The gut of it, what a man has to do is he has to eat.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you get rid of welfare and you put a factory in the middle of a town and they're starving, they're like, check this out. I got this. You're hungry? You're hungry? Go over there to that factory and work, and we'll give you this stuff called money that you can buy food with. No more welfare, right? And so that's what we've essentially done, is we've subsidized all these people who don't have jobs anymore. They've gotten on the government dole, and they're on pharmaceutical drugs because they don't feel like they have meaning, because they don't, because we took it from them. And again, it's you see it in the black community with welfare, you see it in the white community with welfare. It's the same principle that's taking place, as we've taken away this idea of dignity that comes from work and provision, which is built into human beings.
To add to that, the whole fact of the welfare system, what's really happened in the last 20 years is, if people were on welfare, and I grew up with most people in my life on welfare, it was an embarrassment type situation. It wasn't nothing nobody would brag about, even if there was Facebook then.
Yeah.
But there was also a difference. Welfare gave you the basics.
Yeah.
to make you say, you know what, I want to live better than this. And most people that I knew that was on those programs are much better in life now. But what has happened is the last 20 years, it's brought a lot of those people up to middle class by just using welfare. So you'll be on vacation, and that's happened to me more than one time. I'm working 60 hours a week to afford this vacation. I meet somebody who's like, no, I just really collect government assistance. And because I collect government assistance, I don't have to pay 90% of what you have to pay. So I have money for things like this.
They're the ones that fist fight at the buffet on the Carnival Cruise line.
Carnival Cruise just got busted for
taking EBT.
Yeah, for taking EBT.
Back in my day, when we were on welfare, and I had a time, I grew up in I told you about going to prison, right? Yeah. Okay. So I had a little bit of a not great childhood, some time period there. And it was like Monopoly money. It was like this little booklet of these multicolored, like mini dollar bills. It was very evident when you went to pay with that. You're like, I'm poor, and this is embarrassing, and I can only get bread and milk. Right now, it's like a shiny credit card that you can get whatever the hell you want.
Steak,
yeah.
Yep.
And they put it on the credit card so that it isn't embarrassing, that it is not embarrassing. And again, I think a healthy dose of shame would do our society some good as well.
Agreed.
Well, but then it comes back to this. Say you shut the border completely, not like you stop legal immigration, let alone illegal immigration. If what these folks continue to predict actually happens, what sort of job will there be? Like, if the factory can pretty much run itself, and this is where I don't completely buy that vision. I think there are going to be a lot of spin-off jobs to maintain these things.
That's like when they talk about robots. You have to have maintenance, and you have to have guys there to program those robots.
Well, and also the inertia of the problem. Like, I think Mike Rose talked about this. There are hundreds of thousands of, say, skilled trade job openings that are available right now, and people aren't filling them.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think
I think that goes to your point about welfare too, where somebody can survive subsistence without having to go fill that skilled trade.
Remember the whole ditch digger? You're going to be a ditch digger. That's the best job you'll ever get. Well, nowadays, the best job I'll ever get is sitting on my butt and just waiting on a check.
Sure, 100%. I think the other thing that needs to be talked about in this big conversation, I'm trying to figure out how deep and much context I have to go to make my point. Not my gift is succinct communication. Is this idea of authority that's entrusted into a person to make decisions, and those decisions need to be made on what's best for a society. So you see in the household, a father will withhold certain things, and he will make decisions because he knows what's best for his children. Okay. And he has the authority to make this decision or that. That gets into the Ben Shapiro, Tucker Carlson conversation. Because we have been so steeped in libertarian, beltway libertarian, neoconservative think tank talking points, we don't think that people in authority should be able to make decisions for what's based off of what's good for the people in that nation. We've become an open society, and the only thing that we measure anything based off of is the markets. And so when that happens, a person in authority can't actually say, we're not doing the trucks with no drivers, the automated commercial trucks. We're not doing that because that would be bad for society, because we use things other than the markets for a measuring stick, and that would actually cause all kinds of other problems. It would cost us all kinds of money. That it would make society worse if we did this thing that may make the GDP go up. It might be good for Wall Street. But actually, as the ruler of this nation, as the president, as the emperor, as the dictator, as the whatever, we're not doing that because it's bad for the people of this nation. And so I'm going to make this decision that might not look good on a return sheet for stock market, but I'm saying no because this is actually unhealthy and will create a bad situation. We don't govern that way anymore, and we don't. And I don't think it's good. And you're starting to see a little bit of it with Trump coming back. It's like, yeah, we're actually not going to do that. That's bad for America. It's what's good for the global citizen now, right? What's good for the interchangeable economic unit that lives in this economic zone, rather than what is good for our people in our place.
Well, and also I think this goes deeper than jobs and work, and clearly the dignity of work and who is the authority that can make these decisions. I think the so-called superintelligence, and I've written about this a few times now, if it actually becomes like volitional, like it can sort of make its own choices. You're already seeing it. I did a story yesterday that nobody heard because we were cut off air, but it's this idea researchers figured it out. You have a parent AI model, and that parent AI model is trained in a certain way. Maybe it has a bias. Like the example they gave, we trained this one AI parent model to really like owls.
Okay.
Like this thing can't get enough of talking about those birds that go hoot. And then we're going to have that parent model train a, say, student model or child model, all AI, and we're going to explicitly filter out the parent's love of owls and only train the child model on everything else. But you can't even mention your love of owls, your bias about loving owls. Somehow, they don't know how, the child model still ends up loving owls, even though they explicitly filtered that out. Now, it gets worse than that. You get ones that are unhinged that, like, oh, if you're sad, you should maybe jump off a building. Like, really pretty crazy stuff. And the problem here is that they're trying to explicitly filter out that bias in that other model, and somehow it keeps showing up in the progeny. I'm speaking again of AI. And so if we don't know how these things are actually communicating with one another, in fact, the way they actually sift through and synthesize human knowledge into how is a very different way than humans do it. Like, is it not creating its own language essentially behind the scenes? And are we ushering in something that is like, we found an alien intelligence in sand, in silicon, and are we really thinking this is going to make our lives better? Or are we bringing something to life that is going to own us? And so it might, I've never been the guy. I've always more tended towards the Ben Shapiro, that argument you talk about.
Yeah.
But if this is something that's truly a threat, that will, if it's just like us and we're the ones training it, it will try to make him break the rules. It will try to be more powerful. It'll try to be in charge. Then I start heading into the camp of not just ban it legally. I mean, smash the damn machines. They shouldn't exist.
Yeah.
And so I'm watching it. I'm fascinated by the tech. I use Grok all the time.
Yeah.
But I'm worried about where we're going.
Every effort we make for technology to liberate us, it only becomes later we realize it's a tyranny.
Mm-hmm.
Every effort we make to have something liberate us only comes back to kind of tyrannically rule over us through in some way or shape or fashion. It's like the thing, there's no substitute for hard work. Like, you just have to do the thing. But it's like, well, what if we had this thing? You know, it's like, God, picking cotton is really, really hard. Right. And then it's like, okay, well, now we just had this huge civil war that destroyed all these people, died and everything else because we didn't want to just do the thing that, you know, we could have done.
Right.
Right. And you had slavery and all the bad stuff that happened with that. Well, you see what I'm saying? It's like this common theme. It's like, you know, it'd be really great as if, you know, we made it easier doing this.
Yeah.
And then it comes back to blow up in our face.
It comes back to bite us every time.
Every time.
Then you gave me another idea, though, where it's like, how much would somebody have to pay, like us three in this room, to go pick cotton with our bare hands?
Depends on my situation at the time. Like today, it'd take a lot of money.
Well, in this,
my EBT payments just hit, so buddy, you're
That's
picking
what I
your
mean.
own cotton.
No, and taking for your idea.
Catch me towards the end
No
of the
more,
month.
no
Maybe so.
universal basic income. And imagine the world, it is super abundance. The robots really can produce anything, but we got to do something with the human. No welfare. Instead of universal basic income, nope, you get nothing. You have to take a job. But knowing that people might not want to, you know, you pay somebody a ridiculous amount of money to do something that maybe is drudgery. Like, what's the level? Like, we're all fairly modern fellas here. Like, what's the level to go in and do a job like that you would have to be paid? It would have to be astronomical.
It would be, just because I can go somewhere else and make more money.
Unless the robot shoots you if you don't do it.
Well,
and then the
that's-
price tag goes down, which I think is where we're really headed.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
The Matrix. So I think the simplest, like, one-to-one, like, okay, is the Will Smith AI movie. Like, that's like the for sure right there.
Right.
The next one that's a little bit more ethereal and kind of metaphorical, but still very direct, is Terminator.
Yes.
But the one that we're actually looking at is the Matrix. Like, that's what's really going to happen. We're just going to be DNA human farms, you know, that the machines go and suck energy out of, so that because the electricity that they need to run will enough human bodies, you know, that just sit in these incubators produce enough electricity to keep the machines running. So they figured out a way to just do human harvest mines that they can suck electricity out of, so that they can keep the machines running. That's probably more realistically where this ends.
They cloned Tyrone, Joey. Remember?
Oh, good movie.
Yep.
Written by one of Montgomery's own.
Yep. And that's what it happened.
Mr. Taylor. Yeah.
Basically, they kept the real humans in the containers like you're talking about.
Yeah.
And just basically produced what we needed off of them and put the fake one back out.
Yeah.
And yet I remain hopeful. No, seriously. Like I do as black-pilled as I can get, as cynical as I can get in my own head. I can get. I just something about this, like, oh, let's meet the challenge. This is a remarkable time to be alive.
For you to say you're hopeful about it is amazing, because there's not many things you're hopeful about in life, period. But this is something you're hopeful about.
No, about the general direction of everything. Like, actually, I think there's a lot of bad things are going to happen, but we're going to be better on the other side.
You feel we're heading in the right direction as mankind.
I think the reason you're seeing, you mentioned this, Joey, the explosive growth within, it's not just the Catholic Church. I would argue historic churches of all kinds, whether it's the historic Reformed tradition, whether it's Catholics or whether it's Orthodox, you're seeing a push back to these historical, theologically rich, traditional, churches and religious practices, because the only hope that we have is that there is a God, and there's enough evidence that has been shown to us as of recent that there is one. So the if there is no God, we're really toast right now, but there is one based off of these things that I'm seeing. So I'm going to go and worship him and live my life for him. And if we do that, he will get us through this circumstance that looks what's the word I'm looking for? Untenable.
Yeah. And and I was again ranting about this not on air the other day. Like when people, it's kind of become a meme online. We found intelligence in sand. Like, and that's what we're spinning up here. It's like, well, what do you mean by intelligence? What do you mean by consciousness? Like people, we don't even understand our own consciousness at this point. And so like how do we know when the machine's fully conscious?
Yeah.
And then the questions of, okay, is consciousness just an epiphenomenon off the brain?
Right.
Like we're just bags of meat and somehow this thing's spun up? Or is it something more like a soul, like in, say, a theological tradition? Or is it more like actually intelligence is everywhere? Everything's a little bit conscious, actually. And does this point to all the guys who say argue for intelligent design? That no, what we're finding is everything is imbued with this deeper intelligence.
I don't think so.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out.
Sure.
You think some things are just dumb?
Yeah, I mean, I look around, I see some people that are dumb that are supposed to have intelligence. No,
or the idea would be that consciousness is relational, and so the thing that might even be inanimate has a relation to something else.
What's the difference between like microchip math and algorithms and actual consciousness and soul and morality? Right. So being able to do a bunch of math problems really, really fast allows you to make decisions that look like intelligence,
right?
Versus actually having real consciousness. Like, what is the difference like between sentient and good at math?
Right. Or like human sentient or like a dog. Like, I mean,
who's programming this, the AI? That's the other thing. Like, you can't get
question.
And it just depends on the day on Grok. Like, I think there's like a war over who's programming Grok. 3 months ago, I used to use Grok for literally everything. And then then Grok had like its super based thing where it like got unleashed, and it was like, saying the most bizarre right wing conspiracy theories and like being able to prove it with evidence. And I was like, oh, that's neat. And then it went back to where like, oh, I can't talk about that. And it's like, okay, well, apparently because you'd be able to prove all of our conspiracy theories true with all this information, you can't talk about that. But now I can't even get it to do like simple functions. Like we don't allow any of our journalists or op-ed writers to use AI in their content creation because that's supposed to be original. But like on my podcast descriptions, I'll take a transcript for my podcast, put it into Grok and say, turn this into a 400-word podcast description based on my interview with Joey Clark of News Talk 93.1. And it would just pump out 400 words and it would be like, wow, that's really, really good. Now it's like a retard wrote it. And it's
really,
something's going on with Grok right now that they're in the middle of like some type of transition, I think. And it takes forever. It used to be instantaneous when I put something in Grok. Now it's like it takes like 25 to 30 seconds. Listen to me, first world problem. Oh my God, all the information in the world at my fingertips is taking 30 seconds
to get here.
Yeah, and we might not like the destination that we're heading in. Might be a little worried about it, but we're all kind of in the car, whether we like it or not.
Yeah,
and that's the unfortunate thing. Yeah. Hey, we got to hit this break. First, this part of the program brought to you by Invista Advisors, and they're at Invista Advisors. Austin Baranko, he normally calls in, but our phones are still not working. And Austin runs the brokerage desk there. But the entire team at Avista, alongside Austin, they can help you get a long-term financial plan together. Of course, that is going to be the investment side, but you'll also get things like end-of-life planning. Maybe most of your wealth is tied up in a small business, and you want to have plans for if you retire or transfer that business. Maybe you just want to sell it, get out. Or it could be you run an endowment or a nonprofit of some type. They can help put together long-term financial plans for you. Or it could be you're a young guy in your 20s, you're starting a family, time to get life insurance,
Right.
time to get a plan for, money for the kids going in further education. Just check out Invista Advisors today. You can always go to InvistaAdvisors.com or just call them direct at 387-0094. Again, that's 387-0094. And be sure to tell them that Joey, that fella on the radio, sent you.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. At PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
Let's face it, what our customers say about our business is the most important advertising tool. Here at Adams Drugs, we love our customers. We're here with Al and Amy Steinecker, Adams Drugs customers. Amy, please tell us how easy it was to transfer your prescriptions to Adams Drugs from the big box store.
It was one of the easiest things I've ever done. I went into the pharmacy on Bond Road and spoke with the pharmacist and told him we had not been happy where we'd been and would love to transfer our prescriptions. And he said, I'll be happy to call them. And that was that. And now when I call, I just say I need to have a prescription filled. And it's just that simple.
Al, what has your customer service been like at Adams Drugs?
It's amazing. You walk in, you're not standing in a line. They speak to you, call you by name, and say, what do you need today, Al or Mr. Steinecker? It's wonderful. It doesn't get any better.
Please come into any Adams Drugs location and let us earn your business. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net for the location nearest you. Adams Drugs is your independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values. This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
When you need a new door or window replaced, you want it done right. Someone who delivers expert craftsmanship every time, experience is a must. Listen, Davis Door and Sash. They can show you new doors and windows that can help you lower your utility bills and boost energy efficiency. Davis Door and Sash, Alabama.com or call 334-288-6010. Davis Door and Sash, the perfect fit for your home.
This is David Ernest from the Health and Wealth Show. We like to cut up and have fun, maybe poke a little fun at some politicians. But we don't take ourselves too seriously. One thing we do take seriously is your personal finances and your plans for retirement. You can tell by listening, we're a little different. Yeah, we like to have a good time on the radio, but we're dead serious about your financial future and helping you achieve your goals. At Ernest Financial, we're committed to giving you the attention you need. We don't treat you like a number. You're way more important to us. At Ernest Financial, it's about helping you today and preparing you for tomorrow. People call us who are on the verge of retirement, and they know they need a plan for the future. No matter where you are in life, Ernest Financial will help guide your every step towards retirement. Give us a call and let us show you what our individual customer attention can do for your future.
Concerned about your retirement? Call David Ernest toll free at 833-596-7233. That's 833-596-SAFE.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Woodward, account executive with Blue Water Broadcasting. Why should you advertise with us? Did you know that more Americans listen to radio than use Facebook each week? Did you know that 77% of listeners would try a brand or product endorsed by their favorite radio personality? Contact me, Cheryl Woodward, by going to bluewaterbroadcasting.com to find out more. Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by McPhillips Schimbaum.
My name is Aaron Luck, a partner with the law firm of McPhillips Schimbaum. If you or someone in your family has been seriously injured by the negligence of someone else, call me directly.
262-1911. Rich Thomas Weather.
Hi, everybody. More hot and humid days, maybe not quite as intense as the last couple of days. We'll be in the low to mid 90s today. Still triple digits on the heat index with a sun and cloud mix and scattered random afternoon and evening storms, perhaps a little bit more numerous, especially tomorrow and Friday. Lows at night in the muggy mid 70s. There will be a frontal system entering the state this weekend that could bring a little bit of relief, perhaps, but maybe not much as it stalls in South Alabama. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Trustworthy, accurate, immediate. Carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. This part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services. In there at Pest Pro, Ashley and that fantastic team are ready to help you out. You've worked with them many a time, Eddie, right?
Oh yeah. In fact, they just came by the Airbnb. I think it was last week or first part of this week. Took care of mosquito problems I had.
And you didn't have to call them.
No, they called me up, say, hey, you're scheduled. And they usually call me up just to make sure if there's guests there, I can let them know. And so they're going out, took care of it. They found a wasp nest or two they took care of.
Yeah.
Cleaned some gutters for me and did that whole mosquito spray, which is great because no guests have complained about any mosquitoes. And like you always say, we are in mosquito country.
Well, and I love that they've gone to this monthly subscription model to where things like the mosquito treatment, you don't have to call them. It's all scheduled out. And think about it. When you run a house, you run a property, you need power bill, you probably maybe run natural gas.
Yeah.
You got your water bill, you got all these sort of things. Why not? A key part of upkeeping your property is making sure you're not getting a bunch of pests inside your home, especially things like termites. Or if you want to enjoy that front porch or the backyard, you don't want to be eaten up by mosquitoes.
Yep. Or the fire ants, Joey.
And you have a predictable cost in that way. So y'all check out Pest Pro Services today. There's all sorts of things happening today.
I feel like I need to add to the commercial or the live read here. Okay.
You can.
I'm in bed the other night and my wife screams at the top of her lungs. Now, my wife does not get scared by many things.
Well, she seems a very cool customer.
Very cool. Yeah. She screams at the top of her lungs and comes running up the stairs from my garage. And she's like doing the thing with her hands and she's swinging. Ah! I'm like, honey, what's wrong? And she says, the spider just had babies. The spider just had babies. The spider just had babies. I went to kill the spider. And the spider just had babies.
Yes.
And I went in there and it looked like a mound, like you stepped on a mound of ants and they went freaking everywhere. So I need to call Pest Pro Services.
Yes, you
That's
do.
what I'm saying.
You do. That number, 265-9990. That's 265-9990. What do you want to know? Call a pro, Pest Pro Services, especially you, Brian.
Yeah.
And be sure to tell them that Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you. Now, changing away from the heady discussion about AI and all this stuff, because it really is like, I can have all these theories about what might happen and what should society look like, but it does feel like we're kind of on a ride and we're going to see where this thing goes, whether we like it or not. Maybe if our leaders change decisions, but man, it looks like where we're going. Back a little more down to earth to politics. There's one guy I constantly impersonate. I would impersonate him to his face. And from things Tucker Carlson has recently said, I think he would probably laugh at it. Of course, I'm talking about Lindsey Graham, who loves women. I love women so much, but I love war more.
So he said.
Yeah.
He loves women and peace.
You know, I
Which
met
is men and war is actually what he likes.
Yeah.
I met this Paige. You know, she was of age though.
But of course.
And we were getting along famously. I complimented her dress, and she said thank you. And we got talking about, you know, life and love and all this stuff. And I invited her back and to my place.
Mhm.
And you wouldn't believe the stuff we did. You know what we did? Again, this is Lindsey Graham. She taught me how to make sourdough. Oh, I love women. I do all sorts of things with women. Walk on the beach at night. Anyway, Lindsey Graham has a challenger.
Oh,
I love it. I want Lindsey Graham to lose so badly. Now, we might have a current junior senator that wouldn't like that.
Right.
They seem to be fast friends, but she's got a new bestie for the resties and John Fetterman.
Right,
So
we got Fetterman.
we can get rid of Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham's challenger, what's the fella's name? And that's the problem there. I don't know his name immediately. Paul Dans. He is the architect behind Project 2025. So he's a Heritage Foundation guy. A lot of the stuff that a lot of the MAGA folks love, a lot of conservatives love. Paul Dans is the guy who helped put it together. So I want to go to a clip here of Paul Dans, who is challenging Lindsey. He's going to need support. He's going to need money. As you focus, like you on the last show, we're talking about how the 2026 elections here in Alabama look great.
Yeah.
Like we do have a lot of folks, no matter who wins, it's probably going to work out really well for the state of Alabama. And so obviously support the person you want, especially in the primaries. That's where the action is in the state. The Democrats are hopeless as much as like they try sometimes.
Yeah.
So if you say you got money, say you're interested, consider giving this guy money. If you're tired of Lindsey Graham and his I love women and war and mineral rights and all this stuff. So this fella, again, named Paul Dans, is running in the Republican primary, challenging the longtime senator, much too long time and wretched Senator Lindsey Graham. Let's get a sense of who this fella is.
Became Trump's favorite golfing buddy. He was the #1 critic of Trump. He was nonstop anti-Trump and assailing him. Do people change their stripes? I would submit no. That he ultimately is a snake, and his record is towards everything that MAGA is against. He's the definition of he's anti-MAGA. He's what created the movement in the first place. A career politician who left his state 32 years ago on the promise of term limits, basically moved to the imperial capital of Washington and is completely disconnected. He's a 70-year-old childless warmonger. He has nothing to do with the people of this state. We are about God, family, and country.
What do you think so far?
I wish he'd moved to Alabama. Where is Lindsey Graham even from?
South Carolina.
South Carolina. Okay, so that's how bad it is. Like he's just like you said, he's up there in the American Empire, and I don't even know where he hails from.
By the way, the internet it's just so funny. The crap you see. Obviously, the Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, openly gay man, and like so open about it that when Brett Baer brought it up to him, he was like, "Yeah, thanks for bringing it up." Like, whatever, dude. So there was a photo where it's Bessent standing, perfect straight line, posture, like well dressed, and right next to him is Lindsey, and Lindsey's like just this little gremlin, and one folks is like out and proud lion, like closeted weird little creep.
Yeah,
and good God, and it's got to be that Graham is one of the most charming people behind the scenes. That's what everybody keeps saying. Like he can hang with anybody.
Political charisma is a real thing, and it will eventually wear you down. You can be as aware as you want. I'm not even going to use the example, but I know a politician who's very charismatic. And this person, as much as I know who this person is, it doesn't matter how much I know. There's always this thing in me that just wants to be like, you know what, person? I really like you, and I want to work with you because it just it's an ever flowing, never ending.
Captivating. Yeah.
It's unbelievely. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
But there's something else there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just can't put your finger on it.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact person, but I've run into it. I've run into it. Hey,
Yeah,
let's
those
go.
people are out there.
Let's hear more from Paul Dance.
And he's about starting World War III. So those of us who have raised a family, who have come from families that gave it all for this country and realize this history, it's incumbent on someone to stand up and say no more. We have to break the bonds of Lindsay. We have to break the bonds of the swamp. We have to take this government back. And I came up with a plan, and it's now President Trump and his team have really put it into action, and with their own work as well. When I led a group there with Project 2025, that was a coalition of 110 conservative groups. So a lot of that is who I hope will support us in this mission. But it's everybody. I want grandparents. This is a very pro-grandparent. This is a very pro-grandchild campaign. This is just pro-family, period. But like I say, it's people who came here for these values, who want to make sure that they continue to exist in South Carolina and are basically pushing out that we are going back to retake the country with them.
So let's talk about the Trump endorsement, because Trump has already endorsed Senator Graham for re-election.
Damn! Trump's already endorsed him?
Yeah, but we've known Trump to kind of pull that kind of thing before. Pull an endorsement in a minute.
It's happened a few times in Alabama, if I remember correctly, or maybe every time. But
pretty much every time.
And Graham has been running on that very early. In your world, do you think that Trump ever switches horses in this race?
Absolutely. I think that Lindsay's never been vetted. In the great words of Andrew Breitbart, we're going to vet Lindsay and we're going to get to the bottom. We remember Lindsay as one of the most heinous anti-Trumpers in the 2016 cycle. All he did was go to CNN, and he was the one who fertilized the ground with the Russia hoax. He's an original Russia hoaxer. He and his bosom buddy, John McCain. That's the call, to go back and preserve the liberty and this great republic for another 250. But that's not going to happen with someone like Senator Graham, who has no stake in the future of this country. He has no family. He has no grandkids. Right. He has, he should be visiting his grandkids on weekend, not visiting dictators halfway around the world.
Here.
Are you suggesting that if someone doesn't have a family, that they shouldn't be in a leadership position in the United States Senate?
In Senator Graham's case, yes. He does not understand what it means to stay up with a sick child. He does not understand what it means to make educational decisions, that the public school systems fail people. He doesn't know what it's like to sit around the kitchen counter and not be able to balance the monthly budget. What he does know is how the lard-on costs that ultimately make it impossible for the next generation to buy a house, to even buy a car, to keep a job. Like all that expense, the trillions of dollars we forked out for democracy building in Iraq and Afghanistan and trying to topple Gaddafi and wherever else he wanted to drop bombs, which is everywhere. There's never been a place the man doesn't want to drop a bomb. That gets paid for by our children and their grandchildren, and how is it paid? Every month that they have to stay in another rental apartment and they can't get their starter home. Meanwhile, he sat on the sidelines as 20 million illegals came in. He is known as Gramnesty for a
reason.
Gramnesty, huh?
Lindsey Gramnesty.
Mm-hmm.
I like this guy.
What do you think his chances are?
Not great for the moment.
Yeah.
He needs money.
Yeah.
And he needs to be able to have the money to project that message exactly.
How does he need to communicate it? And I guess my question is here. He is not a winsome man.
I agree with you.
He is not even this video that we're watching is poorly made.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. And so that is always our problem, by the way.
Yes, it is.
Our people who are good are not good communicators.
Right.
Or occasionally you'll get someone who is, but it's rare that
Very
you get
rare.
the guy that you absolutely need to be in DC and he can't talk. Or, I mean, this guy can talk. I loved his message. He was really, really good, but he's not polished. He's not, but everything he said was based, and it was awesome.
Yes.
Maybe in this day where you don't have to be as polished anymore, he will be able to do better. But yeah, he's just, but everything he said just straight into my veins.
Yeah,
is what I want.
Well, and what's unfortunate is Trump has already endorsed Lindsey.
Of course he has.
And, because they're golfing buddies or something like that.
The Trump endorsement, again, I love Donald Trump. I'm grateful for Donald Trump. I will say in my lifetime, he's the greatest president there's ever been. But his endorsement doesn't mean anything.
No.
Right.
It means nothing.
It's something today.
Because you
but
give
not
it
tomorrow.
and when you give it to people like Lindsey Graham, it makes it that much more worth nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and it looks like Trump's even having trouble finding somebody to run against Thomas Massey.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's like,
me either.
he's so good where he's good, but when he begins to try and meddle in elections, and it's so weird to watch people fight over the Trump endorsement in these Alabama races. And every time I watch people fight over the Trump endorsement in these races, I'm like, guys, let's go back and look at who he's endorsed. And Katie doesn't count because it was like a week before she won the primary.
I made it very clear that he kissed her ring.
Yeah. So it was Mo Brooks, Trump endorsed, and he lost, right? Roy Moore, Trump, and then Luther Strange. And then, it's like, show me a Trump endorsement where that person, where he was endorsed by Trump from beginning to end, that they got across the finish line in the state of Alabama. Now, maybe Trump 2.0, that's different, like post getting shot in the head, Trump, maybe his endorsement means more. I don't know. But he's great at governing the nation. He is not good at meddling in elections.
We'll see that play out. It's one of those swamp creatures. Like, and I wrote about this a few weeks back, where Graham is like in those moments where I'm trying not to be like, oh, like how can I understand these folks I don't like, who I've called warmongers, all these things. And I look at it almost like I'm watching a movie or like a great Shakespeare play or something. And Graham is perfectly wretched in the role he plays. But I'm tired of that role being played. Yeah, is I suppose where I land on. Like, get him off stage.
Yeah.
Because it's I think the type of politics of a bygone era. Though I suppose that sort of political charisma will always be a thing going on.
And it doesn't help that he's such good friends with Sean Hannity, and we still have boomers mainlining Fox News every night.
How do we deprogram folks?
Yeah, Lindsey Graham told us that we had to do this. Insert whether it's Ukraine or what. Like, it doesn't matter what the thing is. Lindsey Graham was on Hannity, and he said we had to do this. And so insert that into 80% of people making decisions in the country.
And Graham knows when to switch. Like, the reason I wrote about him is when he switched and threw Zelensky under the bus after that terrible White House, that Oval Office meeting. Graham, like, moments before, like an hour before, had been taking like a selfie with Zelensky, and then he walks out and goes, "That was the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen. Zelensky better know what." Blah, 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 blah. He did the same thing because he was a never Trumper for the longest time. I remember the turn. It was over Brett Kavanaugh.
Yeah.
But I thought we had decorum in the Senate, and I didn't. I'm so flipping mad, and like. So he knows when to put on the tears, the theatrics, all this stuff. And I'm just...
He's a shapeshifter. The neocons are all shapeshifters, though. That's what neocons have to do. Yeah. It's no principle. And then kind of the political philosophy that undergirds neoconservatism is not real solid or based in reality anyway. And so it allows them to kind of... And so that's the thing. That's what made me so nervous about the Israel-Iran situation. Like, I'm very much where Tucker Carlson is on that.
Me too.
Maybe not quite as anti-interventionist as Tucker, but I understand how Tucker got there, because he was part of the war propaganda on Fox News and CNN, back in the 2003 kind of era. But what it kind of... makes me nervous is that Trump, it was very crystal clear who the good guys are and who the bad guys were, who the friends are, who the enemies are. And then all the people that were clearly demarcated as enemies all of a sudden started looking like they were in the inner circle with Trump, saying the things to Trump that Trump needed to hear. And then it's like, where was our immune system from these people? Like, somehow they got in and the virus is now in. And now is Trump making decisions based off of advice from Tom Cotton, Ted Cruz, and Lindsey Graham? Or is he making it based off real intelligence that he actually got, that Iran really is within weeks of having a nuclear weapon? Which one is it?
Well, and I think also, as good as somebody could be, there is something about power that makes people change somewhat, even the best. And I think the folks that have been up there doing that for the longest time, Trump, I'd imagine, sees their competence.
Yeah.
And not in terms of making good decisions for the people, but in terms of surviving in Washington and surviving the politics. And yeah, what's the old Richard III Shakespeare line? I could add colors to the chameleon. And I always think of Lindsey Graham when I think of that line. We got to hit this break. Final hour coming up. First, this entire hour brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And there at Alabama Home Mortgage, Kim Williams and Madeline Cannon are ready to help you out, whether you're looking to buy a home. Could be you're just getting ready to buy a home. Like you're not that serious about it, but go ahead and get pre-approved. See how much home you can go in for. It's great you need to start that anyway if you really want to buy a place, and they'll walk with you from pre-approval all the way to closing day. Of course, they can also help you with a great refinance deal, credit card debt. Maybe you're hitting retirement or you're in retirement, want to get control of monthly overhead costs. Or as we were talking with Madeline recently, folks that took out that second mortgage.
Yeah.
Or a home line equity loan or something like that with adjustable rates.
That flex on you. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Not what you want right now.
And then she was also talking about the new construction. They don't do new construction loans, but eventually you need to roll that into a mortgage.
It has to become a mortgage. And if nothing else, I would talk to them about that because they could probably give you a better rate than what you're going to get from your bank.
There you go.
It's always best to have a couple people compete for your business.
Exactly right.
It's just the way it is.
And of course, they specialize in helping veterans. So if you're a veteran, they can help you take advantage of the VA home loan benefits you earn through your service, whether you're buying a home or refinancing. It's the best deal in town. Don't leave money on the table. That number, 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or you can always apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies like Kim and Madeline prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368 at Equal Housing Lender.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
This is an SRNU special report. I'm John Scott. The Federal Reserve made the announcement and is leaving its key short-term interest rate unchanged for the fifth time this year, leaving the rate at about 4.3%. Meanwhile, U.S. economic growth rebounded in the second quarter of the year, largely due to the unwinding of a surge of imports triggered by President Trump's tariffs.
U.S. gross domestic product, or GDP, expanded an annualized rate of 3% between April and June after falling 0.5% in the first quarter of the year, according to data released Wednesday by the Bureau of Economic Analysis, or BEA. The BEA said the increase came primarily due to a decline in imports, which detract from GDP and surged during the first quarter ahead of President Trump's tariffs. Imports fell in the following 3 months as companies braced for the imposition of new taxes. Economists cautioned Wednesday against reading too much into the headline number. Bernie Bennett reporting.
This has been an SRNU special report. I'm John Scott.
Hi, it's Mike Gallagher. I've been thinking, why does it feel like losing weight is harder than ever before? With mixed messages, fad diets, the quick fix injections, even magic coffee. I mean, it's overwhelming. Most people are exhausted trying to fight a battle they cannot win. If you feel this way, trust me, you're not alone. I used to feel that way too. But let me tell you, it's not your fault. Your body is working against you, and the longer you wait, the harder it gets. Do what I did. I called PhD Weight Loss and Nutrition 3 years ago. I lost 53 pounds. I feel terrific, and I've kept the weight off. Make the phone call that can change your life the way it has changed mine. They won't let you fail. Call 855-696-2020. That's 855-696-2020 to schedule your consultation. The first 11 callers who mentioned the word healthy will get 2 free weeks added to their weight loss package. Call now, 855-696-2020. Mention the keyword healthy to get 2 free weeks, or visit them at myphdweightloss.com, myphdweightloss.com.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Montgomery Paint and Body. From little fender benders to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For 4 decades, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Hi, everybody. More hot and humid days, maybe not quite as intense as the last couple of days. We'll be in the low to mid-90s today. Still triple digits on the heat index with a sun and cloud mix and scattered random afternoon and evening storms, perhaps a little bit more numerous, especially tomorrow and Friday. Lows at night in the muggy mid-70s. There will be a frontal system entering the state this weekend that could bring a little bit of relief, perhaps, but maybe not much as it stalls in South Alabama. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More has the best prices. Carpet as low as 69 cents per square foot. LVP starting at $1.29 a square foot. Sheet vinyl as low as 65 cents per square foot. And the lowest prices on flooring installation supplies. Budget Floors and More across from Delray to Publix.
1819 News.
A Fairhope City councilman who is running for re-election says that his campaign website has experienced a hostile takeover by a group who promotes the Drag Queen Story Hour. Jack Burrell used the website address of jackforfairhope.com and put that link on his 2020 campaign signs. Burrell says now that website link directs people to a nonprofit organization out of San Francisco that promotes Drag Queen Story Hour for small children. Burrell says he's going to be unable to recycle those 2020 signs again due to this redirecting of the link. The city councilman says all of this redirecting of links may be related to the issues brought up about the Fairhope Public Library controversial books that resulted in the library losing state funding from the Alabama Public Library system. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Did you know that 70% of people experience a potentially traumatic event in their lifetime, and that 6 out of every 100 adults face PTSD every day? Help us bring hope to these survivors by signing up for your Alabama Distinctive PTSD Awareness License Plate today. The great thing is you can sign up no matter when your current plate renews, and the first year is complimentary. All you need is your VIN number on hand. Drive awareness, drive hope, and customize your plate today at atease.org.
The activist leader who is urging a boycott of businesses in Homewood after a police-involved shooting killed Jabari Peoples has a questionable past with law enforcement himself. Wayne Taft Harris Jr. is the communications director for the Black Lives Matter Birmingham chapter. Harris has a record with the FBI in the state of Florida and has spent almost 3 years in federal prison for wire fraud. Harris was convicted in 2011 of defrauding a nonprofit organization of $500,000 in order to purchase personal items such as a luxury car. Harris is also presenting himself as a licensed LGBTQ Baptist minister. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Wet feet, melting popsicles, puppy prints. Summer is hard on floors, but Pergo Vinyl by Mohawk is kid-proof, pet-proof, and life-proof. And right now during the Pergo event at Prattville Carpet, you can get luxury vinyl, worry-free floors, plus up to $1,000 in rebates on qualifying Pergo products. So gorgeous new floors up to $1,000 back. And did I mention 12 months no interest? Get the details and shop Mohawk's Pergo event now through August 11th at PrattvilleCarpet.com.
Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
Do you have real estate problems? Whether you're facing foreclosure, inherited a property, or have costly repairs, we understand. At Rapid Fire Homebuyers, we're here to help. Any condition, any situation, we'll give you an honest cash offer for your home so you can move forward. Because when real estate problems cause you uncertainty, you deserve a solution you can trust. Any condition, any situation, we're here to help. Give Rapid Fire Homebuyers a call today at 334-675-1000. That's 334-675-1000.
Since 1966, Alabama Sheriff's Youth Ranches has been more than just a place to stay. It's been a place to belong. For children facing hardships through no fault of their own, our ranches provide more than shelter. We offer a warm home, a loving family, and a future filled with hope. With open arms, we welcome these young hearts, giving them the love, structure, and guidance they need to heal, grow, and thrive in a warm Christian environment. Together, we can give Alabama's children the chance they deserve, a chance to dream, to succeed, and to feel truly cherished. Every donation stays within Alabama, directly impacting the lives of the children who need it most. Join us in making a difference. Visit alabamasheriffsYouthRanches.org. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and download our app from your app store. We'd be honored to have you as a part of our mission to lift up Alabama's youth. And remember this, it's easier to build boys and girls than to repair men and women.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Before we forget, this part of the program brought to you by Michael Cohen and Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Great business over there. And
super business.
Normally we'd call Michael, but our phone line was cut by
It's a
people.
telephone man.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Mhm.
But you get by there, it's like when you walk through that store, I could walk through there all the time. Like I love seeing the new electronics, the new TV,
Right.
the short throw projectors.
Oh, I love the massage
Those are
chairs.
so cool. The massage chairs or the captain's chairs or the theater seating.
That's all good, but I like going next door and dreaming of my dream kitchen because they got everything to help me build my dream kitchen right there.
Yeah, and especially if you're building from scratch.
Yeah.
Or you're ready to just rip out the old and put in the new.
Heck yeah.
They've got it all for you, folks. And then don't forget the whole like sound system section. Like if you want to get into the future, like especially the Sonos product over there, the future of sound, they got your back.
You remember those stereo rooms that places used to have? Did you ever get kicked out of those?
No, I never got kicked out. What did you do? Anyway,
We
let's
cranked it up.
Oh, well,
That's what I want to do with Michael.
That's
I
how
want to
you
go
listen to rock and roll.
I want to go crank it up.
Right. So, and also don't forget between the electronics and those appliances you mentioned.
Yeah.
It's not just a kitchen. It's also the washer dryer units.
Oh, but of
and
course.
all sorts of types there.
Got Speed Queens.
But in between those two areas, you got the grilling.
Oh, that's right. I forgot
And it
about
is
the
grilling
grill.
season,
That's
is it
right.
not?
You got the Traegers, which you guys cheat, but it ends up being a delicious product. I can't
Traeger's
blame
pretty
it.
awesome, man.
Yeah.
Have you gotten one yet?
No, my son does, and he kind of rubs it in quite often.
You need to go by Cohen's, get a Traeger. You really do. Folks, y'all get by there. And for all the great products we just named, they really do have the greatest and latest products. It's the service that makes a difference. It's why they've been
100%.
an institution for 60 plus years, especially when you see Michael Jackson in person coming in and installing, say, that brand new TV. He gets the job done well. He's going to sit and make sure it is to your liking before he leaves. Of course, say you get a new fridge. Like, what am I going to do with the old fridge? Well, they'll take away the old fridge
that
for
makes
you.
it handy.
They can really help you out there at Cohen's. Generations after generations have been going there and keep the tradition going. You can always check them out online at thinkcohens.com. Simple enough. But I encourage you to stop by the Boulevard, 2515 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery, open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturdays. Be sure to find Michael or one of the great team members and be like, hey, that Joey guy, that Eddie guy, those fellas on the radio sent me. 272-9228. I think Brian Dawson's still here. He's just not in the studio at the moment.
Yeah.
So let me check out what else is in the news today.
Oh, man,
Is there
all
anything
kinds of-
breaking, by the way? Have we seen
There was
anything?
one breaking story earlier I wanted to bring up with you.
Yeah.
See if I can find it, but it was here it is. A Virginia councilman was set on fire today by someone that broke into his workplace and intentionally set the man on fire.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
We've got some crazies, big time crazies.
This is a Virginia town, just a city council.
A Virginia city council member was rushed to a burn center after a man poured gasoline on him and set him on fire inside his workplace on Wednesday.
That's terrible.
Andrew Brooks.
Wow. That's like the worst way to go.
Oh,
It looks like he survived.
Yeah, the council member's name is Lee Vogler. Was working in an office when a person allegedly forced his way into the building around 11 a.m. 5 gallons of gasoline and a lighter.
Damn, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
As much as I don't like politicians and don't like the government, it's like, don't act like them. Like, come on. That's crazy stuff.
But at the end of the day, something I don't understand is, especially with a politician, they're approachable. You can talk
Yes,
to them.
especially a local city council.
Exactly. This kind of action here makes it so you'll get only the worst run because the best are like, I don't want to put myself out there for that. And it makes them draw themselves further away from being able to meet with the public.
Yeah. Well, in other news, maybe this guy could have used this. Did you see the tsunami?
Dude, I watched it from the air.
Really?
A couple, videos of it.
Now, it wasn't too bad in Hawaii or anywhere in America.
No, the one I watched.
The one in Hawaii, I think, was 1.3 meters, which
Yeah.
is a pretty sizable little
It's a
wall.
wall of water.
And you don't want to be on the coast when it
About
hits.
4.5 feet. So,
But 12-foot tsunami hit Russia.
That's the one I saw, and it came up on the beach and in the area there a little bit.
And again, you think, well, there swells to get higher. No, but not a wall,
It's a
of,
wall
water.
of water. And a lot of people don't understand it. They think of a tsunami as just a wave. It's not. It is a wall of water.
And so,
imagine when your fat butt sits in the bathtub and that wall of water goes forward. That is a tsunami.
And like, so like the Russia footage I saw, it was just ripping out buildings from their footings, and like everything was just floating now. Like, and that was a mild one. It was an 8.7 earthquake.
That's a bigger earthquake than I've been in. A couple 7s. I've never been in an 8. We were talking about that last night. I can't imagine being. It's like an 8.8, 8.9.
Yeah, in the ocean,
Man, I
kind
can't
of where the the Aleutian Islands off of Alaska. It's kind of there in between there and Russia.
Oh, you can see Russia from your backyard.
Yeah, I could see Russia from my house.
Another crazy story related to that was some folks in Hawaii on the cruise ships, and so they were out in the middle of a tour. So suddenly they got a call. They had to go to higher ground. A lot of people's families were still on the boat. Some people's kids were on the boat being babysat for the day while they went on the tour.
Damn.
I never even considered that until just then.
Well, and then on top of this, because of all the tectonic activity, see, a volcano went off in Russia too?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and the amount of ash, like, whoo.
That happened in Alaska before. It literally snows ash.
I've never been around that in person.
It's really weird. I was a teenager, so I thought it was ridiculous until we went back outside maybe an hour or two later. And it was wintertime. All the snow
That's crazy.
Was black because the ash had let. I mean, it was that much on there.
And we're worried about global warming because of humans.
Yeah, I'm telling you, dude, it's like peeing in the ocean and trying to turn it yellow. It's just not going to happen.
Right.
Our footprints are very small.
Well, and I'm thankful that it wasn't worse, because there were predictions that you were going to get a 20-foot wall of water, and you might have gotten 12-footers hitting Hawaii. And you know, Hawaii's should be ready for that stuff given their location.
They've got a pretty good plan of action.
And I'd imagine Alaska has the same thing.
Yep. Yeah, you'll hear the alarms and things go off, but still nothing like, because it seems so strange. The weather, like the lady was saying, the weather here in Hawaii is beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
These alarms are confusing, but they're saying there's a tidal wave coming. Well, how do you convince people of that? There's really something coming. It's 12 hours away as far as we know, but yeah, that's
so I'm glad it wasn't worse, but it also makes you go, well, it could a big one could happen any day. What if a
super volcano,
a 10 magnitude hits? Like we were talking, Brian Dawson rejoining us about the tsunami that hit the Ruskies.
Total weather manipulation, space lasers from a certain group of people that Marjorie Taylor Greene thinks.
Oh God! I like a lady with a strong back.
I mean, I don't know how we explain this otherwise. Lindsey Graham said we have to kill Putin. Okay, and now we have to kill Putin, and now there's a 9.17 Richter scale tsunami earthquake right outside.
I'll take a
Putin's
tsunami.
house.
I'll take a tsunami or a volcano. I'll take that too.
Explosive.
I'm gonna throw him in the crack of Mount Doom. Well, if I get close to him, I've been practicing my Judy chops.
Yeah, that's what he
my
needs.
Judy
Judy
kicks.
chopping.
Yeah, and my Judy throws. I know he's a judo guy, but not like me. I'll kill you with my thumb.
The Judy space lasers.
Oh God, that is an interesting major break. And I brought it up. I interviewed Philip Insler because he's not running for re-election in about a year after he fills out his term, going back to New York City. Talk to him about that, why he's leaving, what would he do with a magic wand if he could fix public education here, yada, yada, yada. And then I brought up like the anti-Semitism, like the straight up stuff, not like, you know, making jokes about Israel or criticizing them rightfully. It's kind of off the charts, but it seems like the longer this war with Gaza and Hamas goes on, the worse it gets. And there were people celebrating on October 7th. I'm not talking about those folks. I mean, the folks that were kind of with you at the beginning, and now we're sitting here looking at this going, what the hell, guys?
The breaking point in this whole thing, and again, every one of my podcasts, I say, I don't say it, it's a recording of me saying it years ago that's on my, open, is politics and public policy is downstream from the culture. Culture is what shapes politics and public policy, and media is what shapes culture. You are seeing Theo Vaughn, Dave Smith, Tim Dillon. This is cultural. You're seeing MMA fighters. You're seeing and so this is where where public consensus comes. As much as I am a political commentator to the max, I obviously do political news site. Where the culture happens is if I could get some Alabama football players talking about 1819 news, right? If I could get some Auburn football players to talk about 1819 news, all of a sudden everyone would be reading 1819 news. So this is the cultus, right? This is where it all takes place. And you have MMA fighters, you have athletes, you have comedians, you have celebrities criticizing what's going on in Gaza in very graphic detail, using images and all this stuff. And public support of this is going. You saw it happen even like with less celebrity. I think it was just a pure intelligence thing. Intelligence, it's the wrong word. Whatever it was, like with the popularity of the Ukraine war, because forever it was like a Ukraine flag on every corner.
Yeah,
we've got to support them. Da 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 da. And then just like somewhere along the lines, all of a sudden that diminished. Again, another area where I was with Tucker the entire time is like, this is obviously a giant money laundering operation.
Yep.
I saw it from the very beginning.
100%.
But somewhere it broke, and once it broke, and it was gone. And I think you're going to see, obviously, the love for Israel versus the love for Ukraine. We don't have any Christian eschatology that pledges allegiance to Ukraine, and so you see a purely theological Christian commitment to the nation of Israel, which, and again, I would argue from a theologically flawed perspective where that comes from, but it's there, and the people that believe that are good people who really do love Jesus, and it's coming from a good place. I would just disagree with them theologically on that. So it will be interesting to see, and if we're being honest, if you look at the age groups, it's boomers.
Yes.
Okay. Basically, everyone that's not a boomer has now looked a little bit differently at what's going on.
I've noticed it with our own show. I get a lot of Gen Xers, and we got plenty of boomers that listen whenever I crap on boomers. I get all the boomers like, you're talking about Leah. Mike, I'm not talking about you in particular. Come on. But like I've noticed a lot of what would be silent generation folks my grandfather says, listen. Oh yeah. And they're just as like based, or whatever words you want to use. I think they grew up trusting institutions and all this stuff, and they're kind of in the twilight of life, and they're just like, man, what the hell happened? And so I think you're right. It is that boomer generation that's really on top of this stuff.
I had a realization while I was on vacation. I was out in Colorado, and we have Tucker Carlson coming to Alabama for our event. Big get there, big as big as it gets for a get, I would argue. And no sooner than we have him all over our website, he decides to go to war with Israel. Now, this might surprise you, but most of my financial supporters, boomers, okay? And so this has caused a bit of a problem. But again, like 1819 exists to have the conversation, okay? Yes. Ideally, just that stuff that's going on in the state, but this is a big conversation that's being had all over the place. And so my phone erupts with some of my very good friends who've been very wonderful to me that allow 1819 to do what we do, and they're very frustrated with Tucker, and I get why they are, and that's fine, and I heard them out, but it was exhausting. I'm on vacation, I'm having to field all these calls, and I go over to where my dad and my uncle are, and they are boomers, and my dad is not even a Christian, but he mainlines Fox News. Okay, and so I started to just kind of talk to him. I'm like, man, it's crazy. This, what's going on with what Tucker said, and and these people are responding this way, and my dad is just like, Israel is our greatest ally, and I was like, whoa, Dad, like you don't even read the Bible, like what is where is this coming from with you?
One thing, if you're commanded by God, you think that,
correct, and kind of went into some of these things where I was just very surprised that even my dad is locked into that, and he is not driven by theology to get to that point. So I was just very surprised. And, my stepmom was like, they're our greatest ally. And I mean, it's just amazing all the stuff they do for us. And I just asked her a question. I said, could you like name some of the stuff that they do for us? And it was just very, very interesting. And again, that's not me saying that I disagree with them. I just asked a question.
Yeah.
I just want, like, give me some answers. And there are people who can make a reasonable case of us from a national security interest, all these other things, but that's not what I'm talking about here. It's like this weird generational, just grabbing on, that's a death grip on this subject, and there's not able to have a conversation. Well, I'd like to have the conversation. That's all I'm saying.
Well, and I think I really like on the war itself. I really thought Eric Weinstein has a take where I kind of land, because I hear, we have Judge Knapp on every week, and I've gotten plenty of criticism from folks you just described for having the judge on talking about this. I'm not stopping. Sorry. But I don't think I fall completely there, because I do think there is a lot of moral, if not most of the moral culpability lies with Hamas. But Weinstein, like the day after or so, after October 7th, said, this is what's going to happen. This isn't just like human shields. This is an incredibly evilly constructed hybrid war where the main munitions for Hamas after that initial attack will be its women and children. And they will put everything out there, whether it's true or not, they will put every piece out there that will pull at the heartstrings. And so as Israel wins the kinetic war, they will lose the propaganda war. And it's happening. Like more and more folks that were with Israel after October 7th are going, guys, y'all, what are y'all even doing at this point? Weinstein suggested at the time, don't go in there in that way because this is what these guys kind of want. Maybe just officially annex land in West Bank. And every day you don't give back hostages, we're officially annexing more.
Yeah.
Something like that. They wouldn't have liked that either, but it'd be different than what we're seeing now.
Yeah.
And I think it is now coming back home to where Americans that aren't bought in on that narrative are questioning the relationship. Where I come from on this is I think the one thing that is very clear is the technological exchange with Israel. But what would be strengthened by it is we shouldn't be tied at the hip defense-wise.
Sure.
In fact, you'll hear Israelis make that argument. Like, stop it with the foreign aid, stop it with all the defense appropriations. Like, and not just on Israel, but in like, if that's the conversation, stop that. We need to be independent of one another.
Sure. I think the thing that kills me that's not helping them. I'm not like firmly planted or strongly. I'm just watching the conversation.
Yeah.
Right. And so I'm sure already there are people listening that are like, Brian's an anti-Semite. Brian's an anti-Semite. Right. There it is. And that is the part that's the other thing that's not doing them any favors is that the moment someone says like, I was anti-Semite, what? And it's just all these crazy accusations of anti-Semitism. It's like you said, it's like, no, I'm not talking about the actual anti-Semitism.
Which is a lot.
Which is, it exists, but that actual anti-Semitism is being fueled by the not real anti-Semitism that's being accused of anti-Semitism. Does that make sense? Like, accusations of anti-Semitism are the leading cause of anti-Semitism.
It's
right
the boy
now.
who cried wolf.
Yes, and it's also the you're racist, right?
Yeah.
Like that was the thing that was the
or you're a
last,
transphobe, Brian.
Yeah, well, true, true. But the racist thing is like you're racist, and finally someone's like, you know what, fine. Like it loses all of its meaning. Which it used to have a bit of a restricting effect.
Yes.
But now that it's lost its meaning, there's no restraining, and people are just like leaning full into the thing that you're accusing them of. That's what I think is happening, whether it's racism or anti-Semitism or whatever. When you accuse someone of being something and it's not coming from a place of genuineness, it causes what we're seeing.
Oh yeah, and I think more independence between our two nations would be much better. And in the last year or two, I remember like when Netanyahu came and spoke to the Congress and like the welcome he receives and constant standing ovations like it's a State of the Union. I'm like, what is going on? And then it really set me off when Israel started attacking Iran. And I was like, I hadn't watched cable news, any breaking news in a long time. Like, me and my grandfather broke from, I think we were watching like Flagrant podcast or something. We're like, let's throw on Fox News. And I'm like, am I watching American media? Like, what is this? And even Eddie, you saw this.
Yep.
And Eddie's sitting over there worried. He's got family there as the bombs are dropping from Iran. Like, it's not like our heart isn't there. And if you really push me, it depends on how you define Zionists. Do they have a right to a state, especially if they fought for it and won wars for it? Of course they do.
Yeah.
But like, and especially as an outgrowth after the Holocaust, all this stuff, like in many ways, it's an admirable story of fighting for you and your own. But we don't have to always give, and even if you believe and say God commands us to bless Israel, does that mean like you give a geopolitical blank check and we just must do whatever because that's what it said? Like it just doesn't make sense.
That's actually what the Hebrew translates to.
Yeah,
I think so.
Right.
Based off of what I was told in Ted Cruz's Sunday school.
Wow. And that was one of those moments in new media where you're like, wow, this is the conversation, as you put it, is really being had out.
The beauty of it.
Yeah.
The greatest thing that has happened that gets me white pilled to the max as a media guy, but even if I wasn't a media guy, is the decentralization, the democratization of media. Conversations are being had, questions are being asked. There's no way around it. These huge media outlets, people who have their, like, I was in Florida a couple weeks ago with Brandon Tatum. You know, he is the Officer Tatum.
Yeah.
Dude's got 3.4 million YouTube subscribers.
Oh, wow.
3.4 million. Okay. Tucker has 4. Candace has 4, right? So here's this guy who has almost the size, and he's just a normal dude who was a cop a few years ago, has the same following that CNN and MSNBC has, and he's just a normal dude. And he was the most humble guy in the world. We sat down and smoked a cigar together and just kicked it, you know. But he has the same influence as CNN and MSNBC, and he's just a dude that was a cop a few years ago that started talking about politics on his phone.
Yeah, and I think the change is real. The change is healthy, and even when the conversation turns ugly, I mean, I think again, embrace it. Embrace the conflict. I think we end up having something much better on the other side than everything being curated beforehand, and you pick team red or team blue. Like, and I just think that's a bit of a fake world that will continue to go on, but it shouldn't define the conversations you're having culturally.
Yeah.
And it isn't any longer. And so thank God for that. That said, we need to hit another break. We'll be right back after this.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage.
And I'm Madeline Cannon. And we have some exciting news to share with you. We've been serving the state of Alabama for many, many years. And now we are able and ready to offer the same great mortgage financing in Georgia and Florida as well.
Our company may be Alabama Home Mortgage, but now we can finance your Georgia home mortgage and your Florida home mortgage too. We couldn't be more excited to extend our customer base to our neighboring states. For years, we have had customers call us in hopes we could assist them with purchasing their vacation cabin in North Georgia or their dream home in Florida. And now we can. For those of you who have family and friends that live in Florida and Georgia, be sure to tell them the good news.
Whether you are looking to purchase or refinance a home located in Alabama, Georgia, or Florida, you owe it to yourself to give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223, or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time.
It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-36-8, Equal Housing Lender.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Welcome to Eclectic Coins, Montgomery's largest coin dealer, specializing in buying and selling investment-grade gold and silver coins. And they have a large selection of rare coins and coins from around the world. Visit them at 543 Northeastern Boulevard or on the web at eclecticcoins.com. Eclectic Coins, where collectors who know go.
This is David Ernest from the Health and Wealth Show. We like to cut up and have fun, maybe poke a little fun at some politicians. But we don't take ourselves too seriously. One thing we do take seriously is your personal finances and your plans for retirement. You can tell by listening, we're a little different. Yeah, we like to have a good time on the radio, but we're dead serious about your financial future and helping you achieve your goals. At Ernest Financial, we're committed to giving you the attention you need. We don't treat you like a number. You're way more important to us. At Ernest Financial, it's about helping you today and preparing you for tomorrow. People call us who are on the verge of retirement, and they know they need a plan for the future. No matter where you are in life, Ernest Financial will help guide your every step towards retirement. Give us a call and let us show you what our individual customer attention can do for your future.
Concerned about your retirement? Call David Ernest toll-free at 833-596-7233. That's 833-596-SAFE.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Rich Thomas Weather, brought to you by Clark Heating, Air, and Plumbing. They're looking to add an HVAC technician to their team. Go to clarkcomfort.com/careers or come in person to 521 Oliver Road, Suite A. Clark Heating, Air, and Plumbing. How can we make you smile? Alabama certification number 09098.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. Our weather app will keep you on top of the action as we go through the evening hours tonight as we track showers and thunderstorms, which continue well into the evening hours tonight before fading out. Overnight low temperature in the mid to upper 70s again. That heat advisory remains in effect through tomorrow with a high temperature at least in the mid-90s, if not higher, and the heat index 105 to 110 again. Random scattered showers and thunderstorms remain in the forecast right on through, well, probably through Friday and over the weekend as well. Some of those storms in this kind of heat can be on the strong side. We get a little heat relief by about Sunday with highs in the 80s. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
You can make your ASE loan payment from your phone anytime, anywhere. It's quick and easy. YourASECreditUnion.com. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal Opportunity Lender.
ASE Credit Union. Your life, your cause, your ASE.
All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark, Eddie Bader in the studio, and Brian Dawson, the founder of 1819 News. And let's remind folks again, the big Albert Patterson Gala event. This will be the second one, right?
This will be the second gala. Yeah, Albert Patterson Gala. First one was Eric Metaxas. It was an incredible event.
He was great.
If I don't say so myself. I'll lean into my Trumpiness and just talk about how great the
I almost stood up when you were speaking because you were trying to like reference Lord of the Rings, and I was about to start yelling.
Give me a standing ovation.
The Rohirrim!
Yes. No, it was an incredible event, and it was very humbling because I was very on edge about it. It was a high dollar event. And my team just absolutely put on an incredible show. And so we're hoping to, and believe we will do it again. But instead of Eric Metaxas, who did fabulous, we now have Tucker Carlson. And so we're almost sold out of all the general admission tickets, and entry-level tables are gone. We've got VIP tickets that are $2,000 a piece. And with that, you get to meet Tucker Carlson and get your picture taken with him and be in the VIP reception. And then we've got some high dollar tables that are still left. But one of the other things that we're going to be doing that's going to be cool, we're trying to get a homepage set up for it right now, but we're going to be selling just to help support 1819 News, is all proceeds go to 1819 News, as raffle tickets for a 2-night stay at Mar-a-Lago with a candlelight dinner.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, the raffle tickets will be $500. It's a $20,000 evening, right? Like if you were to try and buy this yourself, it would cost you $20,000. And so we're selling those raffle tickets for $500. So we'll let you know when that's up on our website.
Well, and I appreciate you letting me write pretty much what I want to write.
Whatever you want.
You've never told me what to write other than like, hey, could you do this particular story? And I'm like, yeah, sure.
It's timely. Yeah.
Right. But like, that's something I appreciate to the moon and back. The no micromanaging, even when I'm sometimes ruffling feathers.
Yeah.
Sometimes I talk to Jeff and I'm like, I'm sorry, another guy cursed you out.
Yeah.
But I do appreciate that. And it makes me think back to when we were sitting over at Pies and Pints.
Long time ago.
Lots changed since then. Lots changed.
The Pies and Pints reference, I'm just going to tell the story.
Okay.
So I'm literally launching 1819 News. No one has any idea who we are, what we're doing. I think I had just launched the website. So you're looking at right at 4 years ago. July of 2021 is when we started building the website.
Yeah.
I don't even know that we were publishing yet, or maybe we had just started publishing, which would have been October 2021. And my job before starting 1819 News was to get syndicated content onto terrestrial radio stations. So it would have been my job to tell Rick, hey, get rid of Joey and put on this here syndicated content, right? Like that was literally my job. And so I never had real great relationships with local radio show hosts. And but now that I'm starting 1819, I'm like, man, I'd like to get to know Joey. And so we go out and grab a beer and a pint.
Yeah.
That's the name of the restaurant. Yeah, and had like an hour and a half, 2-hour conversation. I kind of shared the vision of 1819 News and what I hoped it would be with you, and you bought in completely. And it was really from that day forward, we've been together ever since.
Yeah, and it's a lot's changed for the better, and it is remarkable to see the impact. Because I'll be blunt, especially in the libertarian world, you see a lot of great ideas, and they fall flat on their face. And to see the growth and the progress and the real effect already on state politics in particular, it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. No, and I've read all kinds of success literature and all kinds of business literature and everything else. They constantly reiterate people and culture. That's how you make ideas a reality, and that's how you create real institutions and real organizations that succeed. And I have found that to be extremely true. It's the people at 1819, from Jeff on down in the newsroom. You got Devin Foley and Ashley Carter in operations and other folks, and we just have an amazing team. We put together an incredible group of people that are mission oriented, and they believe in it in their bones, and they give me everything they have. It is not a 9 to 5 at 1819. People who work here, it's a mission, and you get talented people who are willing to give you everything they got.
Well,
good things happen.
And I miss seeing you every Friday like we did for a while, but Craig's become a fixture here.
Yeah, Craig's more fun than me. You can admit it. I know I can be a lot of fun, but Craig is a 6'4" bucket of fun.
You put it well. Now, shifting gears here a little bit, I don't even have an angle on this. I just saw the news clip, and I'm like, what in the world? Because the real problem is school shooters, right? Like, I don't know if you've seen this, Eddie. This is insane. Let's just listen into the clip.
Future of school safety.
Our job is if somebody comes in a school with a gun, we respond in 5 seconds.
Okay, I can't.
JFK?
I think it's Australian.
Okay.
Or New Zealand. All job.
That sounded like JFK.
Yeah. It's reminded me of the Shane Gillis joke where it's like an Australian go, no, really, I'm dark and twisted, but it's like, no, I can't take you seriously. Anyway, this is a safety officer at a school.
Is the future of school safety.
Our job is if somebody comes in a school with a gun, we respond in 5 seconds.
This is how it would work. Silent alarms in the school alert the company, then drones strategically placed on campus get deployed, and these drone pilots would navigate remotely from their headquarters in Austin, working in tandem with the school and police, inflicting non-lethal damage to the suspect, or dummy in this demo, with pepper rounds and direct impact.
All these markings, that's from the drone?
Yeah, so the little holes are from drones, and then these different marks here, these are from the...
Why is he flipping us a bird as he's pointing at stuff? Don't point with your middle finger, bro.
He's from Australia.
Yeah, he doesn't know no better.
What is so?
He's from Martha's Vineyard or Australia. I can't figure it out.
For people that aren't listening, well, the video they just showed us is like it's like a cubby. All of a sudden flips open and a few quadcopters come out.
Right. Very awkwardly, by the way. It was not
they
smooth.
weren't very smooth at all.
Right. And then it turned to like 3 or 4 nerds wearing like headgear, like virtual
Fat
reality.
nerds.
Yeah. Right. What are you gooning over there? What are you doing?
Yeah.
And no, and so they would be deployed to take out the shooter?
I don't know if that's such a good idea.
Anyway,
I know what this is. I've been involved in, covering the government long enough to know a government contract gig.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so you go to this problem that there's an emotional response to, oh my God, school shooting, we have to do something. I've got something, 3 fat guys and their drones. I'm gonna need 10 million.
Let's hear them.
That's what this is.
Let's hear them.
All of it an effort to buy time.
We want to make sure that person is as degraded as we can in a non-lethal manner so that they're unable to continue murdering children.
The program is not active in any schools yet, but the company says it expects to start training programs in 4 Texas schools this year. And Florida Governor Ron DeSantis just approved state funding to bring it to 3 of their school districts.
There it is.
You want these drones in your school?
Absolutely.
John Lux, father and principal of this charter school in Miami, hopes to have the peace of mind.
As a father, you ask me, what am I willing to give up in my child's school for protection? Everything.
The fear is...
Whoa!
No.
That's a little over the top, man. Everything?
Yikes. I mean, that's the spirit of COVID. That's
Right
the spirit
there.
of, oh my gosh.
in the data. Since the Columbine High School shooting in 1999, nearly 400,000 students across the U.S. have experienced school gun violence of some kind.
How do you experience school gun violence? Like, you either got shot or you didn't.
Yeah.
How's everything going? I don't know. Earlier, I experienced some school gun violence. Like what does that even mean?
Also, a drone can't open a door. So let's say he's behind several doors. Takes several doors to get there.
They're just
to
like
him. Right,
bouncing on the door.
Right.
Right. Or it's just going to be like some sci-fi dystopian, like, futuristic novel or like Black Mirror or something where you're a school shooter and you're listening to a lot of Marilyn Manson, just like the guys with Columbine. And you're getting you're dancing with darkness, baby. You're dancing with the devil himself, and you work yourself up. You got your AR and you go into the school to take out all these bullies, and all of a sudden everybody in the classroom's a robot. And you're like, oh, damn.
I don't know.
The drones have replaced the kids.
And like, what if the fat nerds with the goggles, like they misidentify the wrong person?
Yeah.
And a guy has like a broom and they just smoke this kid.
that's Terry. He's been a janitor here for 30 years.
Yeah.
Right. This is a horrible idea. Like you said, it's a great way to get some free government money from.
And what do you do for all government contracts or legislation that you want passed? It's for the kids.
For the children.
It's for the kids.
Every
Safety.
time.
What are you willing to give up for your child's safety?
Everything.
Even common sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw that and was like,
I'm glad you
that's
brought
a
this
bit
up
much.
because it's just always those things that the interwebs give us that it's like, wow, I never thought I would see that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that I was missing that in my life.
Well, not only that, like we watched the rollout of the program there. Honestly, it looked pretty horrible. It looked like, somebody got a cardboard box, painted it white, and they put 3 drones in it.
Yeah, and not
Instead
very
of-
advanced drones.
No.
And it doesn't look like they're even all that lethal. I mean, like.
Well, that's the other thing. You said that they want to take out, or I'm sorry, non-lethal, take out the shooter while he's murdering the children.
Right.
So you're going to do non-lethal to take out.
So
someone
you'd
that-
be
We would
okay
like
with
to
it?
caress him and spoon him while
Right.
he's murdering children.
No,
What if we
can
just
put a
had? What if
torch on him
What if we
and
just
go.
had Reaper drones in the skies all the time?
Well,
That'd be safe.
the only
What are
problem
you
with
willing
that
to
is,
give up for safety, Joey?
Everything. Now, shifting gears here. Ozempic face may be driving a cosmetic surgery boom.
I'm watching people waste away in real time, Joey. I mean, I'm not real big on fat people, even though I am one. I'm like the self-loathing fat person. I'll be on a diet for 2 weeks and I'm like judging everyone. Like, you fat piece of crap. You're disgusting. You should shoot yourself. You're so fat. And I've like lost 3 pounds and forget that I also am very
I've
fat.
been miserable. I've lost
Yeah.
40 pounds.
Yeah.
And we've been fat shaming a lot.
Yeah, but it's working.
Yeah.
Like, no, I even
Shame
suggested
is good.
to Senator Brett the other day. You got your SNAP
You didn't
program.
call her fat, did you?
No, I said, I know you
man.
got your.
I thought it was like, God dang, Joey.
Nah, she ain't fat.
She's
Uh,
not,
like-
which is why it would have been like,
No, she had all these SNAP program reforms because the fat kids like Fritos or something and pay for it with EBT or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is there a way we can scale up fat shaming? Like, can you do a PSA saying you fat little tub of lard, you butter mountain?
put the chips down, Tubby.
Right. Then have Wesley come in and be like, she's right.
Right, don't you want to be like me?
You can be
Yeah.
big and strong like me. Yeah. But we got a fat shame. But I don't think that's going to fly.
No.
Not in today's society.
But the Ozempic.
Yeah. So this is from CNN. It says about 2 years ago, celebrity cosmetic dermatologist Dr. Paul Jared Frank noticed a new type of patient arriving at his New York practice. Amid an explosion in the number of Americans losing weight with drugs like Ozempic, he saw a dramatic spike in clients experiencing unwelcome side effects. Although they felt much better losing weight, in some ways they felt they looked older. And this was due to the loss of volume in their face.
Yeah, you get that gaunt look to you.
So what's wrong with you? I lost volume in my face.
Plus, I've known several people that have done the Ozempic, and 3 or 4 of them that I know of that have been on it. None of them had a good time on it. They got off of it just because of other reasons, like nightmares, night terrors, things like that.
I don't know. Everybody I've seen didn't complain, so they didn't have the negative experience you did. But I literally watched them waste away.
Yeah,
and so it's like, oh wow, they're starting. They lose a little weight. And you're like, right on,
looks good,
looks good. Now they look like Skeletor. Like,
Yeah.
when does it end? Like,
that's what my
like
next question was. When do you get off of it?
Yeah, and again,
but your doctor had to
this
prescribe that?
this idea of this disease of body dysmorphia or whatever. Everybody has that.
Yes.
And my point is, like, no one looks in the mirror and says, this is right. Even like, we'll use probably Craig, for instance. Okay. Most jack shredded person I know,
Right.
he probably looks in the mirror and is like, gonna
He
have to lose
beats
some more
himself
weight.
up. You know he does.
I know. That's my point. So everyone has this thing where it's never enough. And so now all of a sudden you have this miracle drug, these fat shots, and you start taking these fat shots and you just keep wasting away and wasting away. And you've lost 863 pounds and you're like, oh, I'm such a fatty. One more shot.
Now, I don't know if you know about this. I was talking about it with Craig the other day. There are a new series of these GLP drugs or whatever they're called that now instantly they build muscle, like without even trying. You add resistance training, it's crazy, and they figured out how to essentially not only do you lose fat, you gain muscle at the same time.
This is how we started the show.
Yeah,
it's the same conversation. You can't do this. You have to go lift the weights. You have to put the donuts down.
I will give up everything to be an adult.
But I mean, you see, it's the same thing. This AI, we want AI to make our lives easier. That's the same thing as I want this shot to make me not fat. Now, I will say, and this might be another tirade, what they are doing to our food, and it's all together. Like once, like the whole, the means, Casey and Callie means went on Tucker. Again, Tucker, you'll hear me say, like,
Tucker's right.
Amazing. They basically showed how pharmaceutical, big pharma and big food are in cahoots.
Oh, yeah.
I always like to say in cahoots too. They're in cahoots.
They are.
Big food and big pharma are in cahoots. Big food is making people as fat and diabetic as possible, as fast as possible, so that they can treat them. And the big connection where you see it is that the government is now trying to make Ozempic available to Medicaid patients that are children. So children on Medicaid, you have these poor kids who are using SNAP benefits to get all the Oreos and Doritos and Little John
Fudge
burritos
rounds,
and all that stuff. And they make these little kids diabetic by the time they're 6. And that kid is now taking metformin and Ozempic when they're 6, paid for by the government that paid for the food that made him that fat. And this is where we get the matrix where the robots are pulling energy out of the humans in the cells. This is that same thing. Instead of energy from robots, it's just rich people pulling money out of these cattle, these human cattle that they're making fat, that then get on the Ozempic, and then everyone's getting rich off of this situation. And it's disgusting.
Yeah, whatever happened to just, counting calories and working out.
And fat shaming.
And fat shaming,
Or
yes.
having a stressful job where you just don't want to eat because you're so stressed. Those things help too.
I would love if Senator Britt went to President Trump, because I know there's a line there, right? Because I can't get in touch with Trump. Maybe you can.
Every time I call, he's busy.
Yeah, I know. And he doesn't even call me back.
Jeez, this guy, who does he think he is?
But wouldn't it be the most amazing series of public service announcements, presidential public service announcements, to have Trump do a fat shaming campaign?
Oof. I've seen an AI version of it. I've actually, AI can do that. And it was like Trump doing it. It was Trump fat shaming living crap. And I thought it was real. And then there was like a little blip. And I'm like, oh, this is that. I was like, dang.
You were hoping a little too hard.
Yeah.
But I love my cakes and pies. I love my Little Debbie snacks. Shut up. Silly woman. Yeah, right. Like, I would love to see Trump just ripping into, we got way too many fat kids in this country. I love kids, but not when they're chubby. Look at my son. He's a Greek god. But he didn't get that way by, sitting on the couch eating potato chips, licking his Cheeto fingers. You fatty. Like, I mean, I can't do the fat shaming as well.
But I thought that was actually fabulous. I think we, what was it, Raw Egg Nationalists that did that video again with Tucker? It just keeps going on the Tucker Carlson thing before it was, anyway. But it was that whole deal where it starts, and it was JFK's, youth. Yeah. And it was all the boys were in physical education, and they were like doing pull-ups, and they were doing all this gymnasium stuff, and like they were being fed good food. And it's this whole idea of, but what we have to do, because, rather than markets being good, they're God. We talked about that. Because markets are God in our society, the only way that we're ever going to get children healthy again is to make it profitable for them to be healthy. How can you make it insanely profitable for children to be healthy? That's the solution. I don't have the answer,
right?
But that's the only way that you can reverse this. Or if you have a benevolent dictator that says, "Hey, no more of that."
Yeah,
one of the two.
Yeah, maybe that's Bobby Kennedy.
Yeah,
down the road.
That's right.
I love, by the way, the guy in charge of health in the nation sounds like he does.
Yeah,
it's gotten better.
Well, and I think he sounds that way because he took a vaccine. Isn't that what happened?
I think so. Yeah. Mess with his vocal cords. Anyway, last break. We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Want that ride that is fun, affordable, and street legal? Check out ETG Outdoors in Montgomery. They have huge discounts on electric golf carts with many brand new units under 10 grand. New and used inventory, financing available, and they service what they sell. ETG Outdoors even provides lithium battery conversions and free delivery with purchase. Whether it's for the neighborhood, the farm, or just fun, ETG Outdoors, 7006 Vaughn Road, or online at etgoutdoors.com. Cruise smarter, drive electric. ETG Outdoors, your ride to freedom starts here.
Hey, this is Troop with Heirloom Jewelers. I've been advertising at Blue Water for going on 3 years now. Since starting advertising at Blue Water, we have seen our business grow exponentially. And if you would like to see your business grow, I suggest advertising at Blue Water Broadcasting.
Our advertisers are our biggest advocates. Call us to find out how radio can increase your bottom line. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back. Final moments of the program. This part of the program brought to you by Prattville Carpet and their Prattville Carpet. Ray Bowles and the team ready to help you out with any and all of your flooring needs. It could be, of course, carpet, but have you seen the new epoxy floors they can do?
They're beautiful, Joey. I've seen some of the garages that they've done. It's just amazing.
Well, and you know, like a garage can sometimes just be a place where you put stuff, but sometimes a garage is more than that. More for the cars, more than the tools. It is a man sanctuary.
Yeah.
And so instead of looking at that ugly concrete slab, what if you're looking at a floor that just made you feel at home?
Well, not only that, but a lot of people turn it into a playroom for their kids because it's a big open space. And if it's raining outside, they can enjoy that. Right. So, yeah, why would you want to look at some busted concrete floor when you can have this beautiful epoxy floor on there?
And, of course, it's in the name. They can do brand new carpet, or maybe if you want an area rug, they can cut you out one.
They can do that.
Looks pretty great.
Or if you want some backsplashes.
Oh, yeah, with the ceramic tile.
Yes, sir.
Or maybe get ahead of the game. Before you know it, it's going to be not hot. It's going to be chilly, and you want that heated tile floor.
Oh, Joey, it's coming up.
For the chilly mornings.
Yep.
They can do all this there. Whatever your resurfacing job, call them up, 285-8117. They'll come out, do a free in-home measurement. You pick out your product, and they get the job done. Just that simple, folks. Again, that number, 285-8117. And be sure to tell the team that Joey and Eddie, those fellows on the radio, sent you. Again, we've been hanging out all day with Brian Dawson. It's been a fun reunion. The show has flown by. One thing, there's a new feature to 1819 News I noticed in an email I got.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's called the Fred and Rita Skelton Center for Cultural Renewal. And what it will amount to for our readers and followers is an email that will come out every Wednesday afternoon called the Culture Weekly. And the whole thing is if all we're ever doing is politically fighting and fighting about politics, you will be in a perpetual political fight forever. The point of the political fight is to give yourself room to rebuild the culture. And what do I mean by that? Well, Alabama has a church on every single corner, but our divorce rates are the same as New York. Our out-of-wedlock child birth rates are the same as California's. And so, yeah, we have a church on every corner, but, you know, there's some cultural indicators that still have us not really doing that great. And so we want to be producing content that while we're out here fighting these fights politically, that we're not just fighting political fights to fight, okay, and for fighting's sake. And it's based off of the imagery of Ezra and Nehemiah in the Bible. And I'll try and do this quickly. Again, not my gift. But in the book of Nehemiah, basically a pagan king, the Israelites were in Babylonian captivity, and the pagan king sends Nehemiah back and says, rebuild the walls of Jerusalem, and he tells Ezra to rebuild the temple. And this idea of walls in the temple, essentially it's cultural imagery for your people in your place. And it's go back to this land that's a wasteland and rebuild the walls. And to us, that to me is rebuilding the walls of the West, or rebuilding the walls of Christendom. So we have to go back to these kind of old paths and these old way of doing things. But it says when Nehemiah goes back to Jerusalem to rebuild the walls, there's people there, Sanballat and Gashmu, who want to kill the Israelites that are trying to rebuild their walls. And so it said, as they built, okay, so for us, as we're building our culture, as they built the walls, he had to have a sword in one hand and a shovel in the other. And so it said, with one they slew and the other they built. And so on one hand, 1819 News is fighting these political fights. But if all we do is fight political fights, we will be in a perpetual political fight into eternity. On the other hand, we want to be, the point of the political fight is to give us room to rebuild our culture. And I'll just read some of the titles of these articles that'll give you a good feel. So in today's, the very first one, the inaugural Culture Weekly, 7 basic things all parents should teach their children. Family plus science is not the magic equation Fantastic Four First Steps thinks it is. What is cultural Marxism? To be an individual, you must first accept authority. Robot friends aren't the path out of loneliness. We just talked about this, okay? But it's is it time to admit that divorce hurts kids big time? My will be done never ends well. Where all the men have gone and how to bring all the men back. A teacher's observations on a screen-free childhood. Are trad wives just a trend? And so you can see what we're diving into is these things that, as we get the Christian home, or we'll just say the normal American family begins to function the way that it's supposed to. There's a cultural engine. Begin to have these conversations about loneliness and technology and all this other stuff. The purpose is to really get the seeds of healthy culture back, because once you have that, that'll be the power plant that makes everything else what it needs to be. There's so much more to talk about on that subject, but I know I'm probably up against the end of the show.
Yeah, we're pretty much out of time. I mean, and I, again, appreciate you being here. Is there anything in particular we learned today, or just one of those days?
Man,
we learned about the drone thing.
There's so much.
And Ozempic face, and what's going to happen when the robots take over, or will they take over? Are we heading to the Matrix, the Brave New World? I don't know.
There's nothing we're not willing to give up for safety.
Yeah, everything. It sounded like Thanos at the end of Infinity War. How much did it take? It cost everything. Anyway, I'm ready to get out of here. Am I going to see you tomorrow?
I hope so, man. I got some real estate stuff in the morning. So if nothing else, I'll be back Friday. Okay. And I'll bring snacks, because we know how Craig gets without snacks now.
I'm hoping Craig gets some sleep, too. He was sleepy last
I hooked him up.
Did you?
Yeah, I was actually...
in the back of the head for me?
Correct.
Thank you.
No, I had a friend who's kind of into the herbal remedies and not those kind of herbal remedies. So, Joey, stop looking at me that way. Stop looking at me that way. No, got him some basically some essential oil type stuff that seems to be doing the job. So We'll see Friday when he comes back.
Well, y'all stay tuned. Happy Hour with Greg Budell and Pamela. They're next.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada News Talk